only $39.90.
And how about this diamond chain in cultivated?
12 and a half carats total weight, collection color and lab grown, only $79.90.
And last but not least, especially this year, 1.5 carat floating diamond pendant.
Collection color and lab grown, only $9.90.
Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens. And it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade Advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about last night's game? You want to talk about college football? Do you want to talk about other NFL stuff? Where do you want to start on Tuesday?
I mean, we could talk about last night's game.
Probably should start there, I guess.
Let's just
I got it. Here it is. It wasn't what I thought you'd say.
What did you have on the top?
It doesn't matter. I got it now. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. So, yes, last night, Monday Night Football. It happened. I don't know.
I thought it was fun.
It was all right. It was all right. Here's the thing. I made a mistake. I went over like, oh, let's see how this Simpson thing goes. I made it a play and a half. And I was like, whoop, I can't take it. When I go back to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck willingly, that's how bad it was. I just, I'm done. I'm done with the alternate broadcasts. They're clunky and it's just, I think the Toy Story one was done better. And the other stuff was just awkward, Simpson stuff. I don't know. If anybody liked it, let me know. I don't know. Didn't think it was worth anything.
What'd you think of last night's alternate broadcast, Jeffco?
Is your headphones on?
Yes.
Just want to make sure you can hear it when I say you're fired. Are they on? Yeah. Just want to make sure the message comes through when I say it. So last night's game, okay. It was all right. It was all right. And then it just ended again. It's like another game that ended just sort of anticlimactic, but
was
totally,
it? I thought it was
totally
extremely exciting.
Oh no, I mean I know you enjoy watching the Cowboys lose. There is much about this next segment you have that you can enjoy about the Cowboys losing. And it's just about how bad things are for them in general. But and they're like, hey, we're going to win this thing because we have just forced them to have to punt. And we're right in field goal range. It's not going to be hard to get where we need to go no matter what happens next. We are golden, boys. We are golden. And then Amani Aruwariye, which I believe, I'm not sure what the what is that? Is that? What is,
I don't know,
but
you pronounced it spot on.
I probably didn't. But what do you say that is, Keon? What
I'm trying to find out right now.
Arurare, is it Nigerian? Is it whatever it is?
Oruwariye.
First of all,
again, spot on.
Sounds like Tom Brokaw. Today. Whatever it is, it's probably direct English translation is to oops. Poor guy. He hadn't played in a while, right? He's like, hey, we're gonna put you out there. Oh, good, great. Special teams. Oh yeah, okay, I can do that. All right, so whatever you do, if this happens, don't touch the ball. And he's like, I must touch the ball. And then he touched it, and then he didn't control it, and then the Bengals got it back and won the game. That's pretty much the whole thing right there. So Aurora is in English. Whoops. And all I thought of when I saw that was want to get away. Those commercials, just a Bill Buckner moment. They were invoking the name of Ronnie Lott, or Leon Lott. Which one was
Leon Lett?
Leon Lett.
That's it. And I was just like, this poor guy. I feel bad for guys that fail like that, and then to see these guys sitting there on the bench just dying.
Yeah, because it's like a 1 in a million kind of thing that happens to you. The odds are you play an entire 10 years in the league that never happens to you. But every now and then it happens to somebody, and I guess it's Oruwariye's turn.
Yeah, you're going to need to avoid everyone. In fact, you might want to go to the Bengals locker room just for this once. Just go there and change because you don't want to show your face. Although Jordan Lewis, he's like, I don't blame him for trying to make a play there. He's like, it happens. He says, we just got to encourage him. We got to stand behind him. In his head, he's thinking, all right, so we're going to get a sock and we're going to put a couple bars of soap in it. And we are going to beat the hell out of Amani. Oh my, that's all he's thinking. And he's like, we don't want that moment to define him. We want the bruises left behind by the sock full of soap to define him. Wait, did I say that? Oh, geez, sorry. What I meant was it's just football. It's just some things roll your way. Some things can't. Also rolls oranges. We could put oranges in that sock and beat the hell out with it, and that wouldn't leave a mark. And then you're damn right I ordered the code red. Jordan's like, hold on, we got to take some of that out. You can't print that. I don't blame him for trying to make a play. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to tell you right here.
Yeah, but you still had to play defense after that and not give up the touchdown instantly, which they did. So you can blame him for that if you'd like, but you still had to defend Jamar Chase, and then you just kind of didn't do that.
You know, just I feel bad for him, but I don't mind seeing the Cowboys fail. Don't mind that at all. Hell, I picked the Bengals, and I was worried about that pick going in, and well, now I'm happy.
I wasn't. This Cowboys team finds a way to lose, and that's just what they do. That was their business this season.
That was a very creative way to lose the game, though.
Look, while you're trying to go for style,
wasn't on the bingo card at all.
But somebody double teamed Jamar Chase. I think he's still scoring touchdowns right now.
Yeah,
I just at some point defend him, and they just never did. They just didn't do it, and I don't know why. T. Higgins got a lot of attention. What do you just decide that everybody not named Jamar Chase, like Jamar Chase was going to beat you, but nobody else was? Because I think that's a bad strategy. I don't know that that's exactly the way you want to approach some of these games, but it looked like that was the plan.
Man. All I know is I saw Micah Parsons sitting there, and in his reaction to an Amani oopsied, I thought, he's going to kill a man. He's going to literally kill a man.
I've thought that about Micah Parsons maybe 2 or 3 times this season. He's looked at other players on that team and gone, why are you here? Why are you here on this team with me?
Yeah, he was already upset because DeMarvion Overshown tore multiple ligaments in his shoulder. I'm sorry, his leg.
His knee.
His knee.
All of them.
And he got hit in the right side of his leg there and just boink, boink, boink. Everything just came apart.
MCL, PCL, all gone.
He can't even move his leg now. It's like you go, boink, one goes, and you're like, okay, I can limp. Boink, boink, boink. 3 go, and you're like, I just got a floppy appendage here,
Everything from the knee down is not helpful. You're just useless at that point.
But Micah Parsons, he's like, I cried. It's like he's my little bro. Why couldn't it have been Amani? Why did it have to be DeMarvion? Why couldn't it be Amani?
I don't.
He was thinking it, and you know it.
He was not thinking.
He was thinking it, and you know it.
He was not thinking that.
That's what I saw. Anyway, so that's sad about Overshown for sure. That is sad. But I know, Randy, as far as the outcome of the game, that makes you pretty happy because you hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm not a big Cowboy fan at all. But, listen, what's even better is the way my fantasy football team won.
Oh, that's right. Didn't you play? Who did you play? Some scrub? Who'd you play?
The game really wasn't important to me. It's just that I was behind. And I think I was behind by 40 points. I ended up winning by 10.
Oh, look at that. You beat Ralph. Hooray. And I got, wow. I didn't realize how close it was.
Oh,
Keon.
no, you were ahead of me before the game started.
Wow. Okay.
You were ahead of me by like
I knew I was ahead by 30 points when the game started, but I knew with Joe Burrow, who else? T. Higgins and Mike Gesicki. Yeah, I was not going to survive that. But I'll tell you what, I damn near did. If Burrow had half the game, if he had like 20 points, that could have been close.
But Burrow has been killing it for basically the last 12 games of this season.
Yeah.
To the point where, multiple touchdown games, he's got a streak that matches Patrick Mahomes back in 2019. Like, I think he's having a good time. I didn't doubt Joe Burrow, but I did have doubts about everybody else.
Well, everybody else, even if they got in zeros, you still would have won.
Yeah.
It was all about 40
about
points. Yeah. So as I looked at the standings for the Daily Blender Premier League in fantasy football, I am just 6 points behind the Berg. So now I have plummeted to 10th place, completely out of the playoffs. But God help any of you if you fall into the consolation bracket now. That's all I have to say. Because I just have to beat any of you to stay in Premier League. So if anybody drops down,
I thought it was the last host.
No, the last host would be me right now. So you are a host. You are a host. And so anybody drops down, Ralph, Keon, or Randy, if anybody drops down, and if I end up in the final standings above you, Bye. Of course, the way
how would that actually work? If I make the playoffs and you don't,
doesn't matter.
Wow.
It's the final standings.
Okay.
After the playoffs are done. So if you are
no
below me,
no sigh of relief there.
Yep. If you are below me in any way, you get to go. I get to stay. So yeah, everybody play hard. But and also don't worry too much because I'm good for 100 points a game. So I have not been really a threat.
Yeah, but does anybody want to find out? Like, oh no, this is the week he got 140. I don't want to
5-game losing streak. I think you're okay.
Yeah, well,
in 3 of those games, you know, I just got bad luck on me. You know, 3 of those games I could have won. But that's life, but I'll be ready. I'm still working the waiver wire, just getting ready for my chance. That's all I've got left.
I've got Ralph this week, so time to kick him down a flight of stairs like this is Sparta. That's the plan.
If you can. Ralph's team goes off, man.
His team is good. I almost beat him earlier this year, but Brian Robinson got ruled out right before the game started, and I lost to him by 10. I think I can beat him.
Well, make sure everything is good to go and healthy on your way in because he does have a badass team.
He does.
That is a true statement there. Anyways, nobody wants to hear about our fantasy football, but I'll tell you what, I'll give you the standings on everything for everybody's. Week 14 is come and gone, and here's the thing. I'm shocked I'm still in 5th place in the overall standings of the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em contest. I really am. But everybody, I guess, sort of fell down the same hole that I did. I got 10 right. So that means I've got a total of 147 correct, keeping me in 5th place. Randy, you got 9 right. Keon, you got 9 right. Ralph got 9 right, which I like about that is now I'm 7 games ahead of Ralph. Just makes me happy.
They're just running up the score at this point.
Yeah. Every week I get one on him. So now I got 147. He got 140. Randy, you got 132. Keon, you have 133. Beat the book Dylan. He has 10 right this week. He says he's got 133. Now here's the thing he says. He says he didn't make picks the first week is what he said. So he's a week behind everybody, or else he'd be probably fighting with me. You know, but he's not. I don't
know. It gives you the points by week. He did pick week 1.
Did he?
It's got his list of picks.
Oh, wow. So he said he did. Oh, he was making it sound like he didn't pick a week or something.
No, he got 12 right in the first week.
He just mad because I'm way ahead of him.
He had a 3 games, he had week 2, 3, and 4. He had 7, 7, and 6. And then he got better after that. So he's been fine since then. But no, he picked week 1. At least that's what the
Does
pool
he have
host
any
says.
missing weeks? Because
there's no missing weeks.
So
the pool host will give the week by week breakdown of what you did if I click on anybody's name.
I just remember the text from him saying, "Oh, I missed a week." Oh, okay.
Not according to this.
Well, now I feel really good being where I'm at. So the weekly picks winner, Sharp Cat, got 11 right. Nobody got more than 11 right out of the 13 that were possible. So it was a tough week, but Sharp Cat, he wins the prize. Current leader is still Pro Dog, 150 right. So I'm coming for you, Pro Dog.
Wow.
Yeah, and if I beat you, you know what you get? You get the whole prize. I can't win. So you get the actual 1580 prize. So here's the fantasy football awards. I don't say awards, but nobody gets anything for this. But the highest score of the week went to the Bug Eaters in League 8, 203.05 points.
The Bug Eaters?
The Bug Eaters.
Did you have Josh Allen and Puka on that team?
I didn't look because I figured they did. There's no reason for me to look.
There's no reason to think that it was otherwise. Yeah.
I think 2 or 3 other teams had 200 points or close to it. But League 8 Bug Eaters was the top scorer. Washington Rail Splitters finished the season with the best record, 13-1. And Mr. McGiblets, again in League 12, has the most points overall with 2,167. So there you go. I'm not going to give all that much information now because it's just we're going in the playoffs. So the information in the leaderboard and in the standings will not change. Well, it's just everything else is irrelevant. It's the playoffs. You play, you win, you go on. You play, you lose, you don't. God help anyone in the Premier League is all I'm saying. You end up getting relegated because you fell down into my spider trap. That is really on you because I stink this year. This is the worst year of fantasy football I've ever had. You know, I had my main players all got injured. I basically you've been fighting waiver wire teams and because there's no players, everybody got all the good ones. There's no secret gems. There's no breakout stars. It just nothing. So I did what I could.
And when the fantasy football king gives me one, you take them because you're also listening to the advice. So
I won't do that.
Had to limp along with Mike Gesicki.
You know, though, that didn't help. Did I? I mean, who did I take? I took. Good God, I can't remember who I stole.
I think he did better than Mike Gesicki, though.
I played Noah Gray, who did all right, and Kate Otten did all right. But yeah, I stole the running back, who, by the way, stank. He didn't do anything. Yeah. So me stealing from you probably helped you.
I mean, maybe I played Kareem Hunt again because I had no choice.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah. All, you know. So, anyways,
5 points of them.
Let's go to the text line 888-368-1580 and Devil Hawk. What is he sending me here? Why are you sending me a pic? He says, I asked AI to generate me a picture of the Daily Blender with Jeffrey O'Brien, and this is what they generated. Okay, first off, that doesn't look like me, but that is a giant blender. And at least the guy doesn't have 18 fingers. So, yeah, AI is dumb, by the way, in case you were curious.
It's just word associations.
Yeah, it's not. AI doesn't know what I look like.
Not thinking.
But I asked AI to tell me a joke, and it was bad. I said, tell me a joke you think is funny. It says, why did the AI refuse to tell a joke at first? It heard people found its humor robotic. And then it cracked a one-liner and debugged the room with laughter. Told it. I said, I don't think we can be friends anymore. He's like, I know.
I know.
Yeah. Don't ask AI for anything anymore, Devil Hawk. T-Licious says, thank you, Jamar Chase. I was down by 29, and then I won by 10.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Free Guy says, I know I said Cowboys money line, and they obviously didn't win, but they did better than you guys thought they would, and they had a great chance to win. Nah, that's fair.
Yeah, but it's the opposite of the thing you said was going to happen.
Also true. Yeah.
I mean, you know, they do better than we thought. Than we thought. Yeah. Did they still lose? Yeah. So that's a bad bet.
There is no participation trophy here.
Mm-mm. And I agree with Jason Kelsey. He said Dallas is the butthole and the armpit of America. Everybody in ESPN was like, what? He's like, it's a joke. And they're like, no, I don't think you're kidding. And Kelsey's like, we're having fun here. I love Dallas.
I think it's New Jersey personally, but hey, we all have different tastes.
Well, the armpit of Arizona is Globe. I mean, that I've already said
you have
many
said that
times.
Before.
Yeah, it's one of the armpits at least. Taco Kenny says, who sucks more, my Raiders or the Cowboys? The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Sorry, man.
They are
sorry.
They are literally, they have the worst record in football.
Bad getting worse. I really hope things turn around for that program, man. I'm so sorry. All right, got a lot more text sitting here on the text line, a lot more stuff to talk about. So come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
NFL Week 15, the Arizona Cardinals will be home in Glendale as they take on the New England Patriots, both teams on 3-game losing skids. The Patriots are led by rookie quarterback Drake May. They're the worst passing offense in the NFL, averaging just 17 points per game. Arizona at 6-7, the sixth best rushing attack in the NFL. The Cardinals are a 5.5-point favorite at home, minus 230 on the money line. The Patriots are plus 195. The over-under at 45.5, with the over minus 115, under minus 105. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up. You check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sporttrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the Sporttrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinning wheels. Live bets on Sporttrade are instantly accepted. Download Sporttrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
Sporttrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-600-9595. 800-600-9595. 800-600-9595. Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down, now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game in a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's Kasai Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Sunday night is football night on the Fanatic.
The Green Bay Packers are on the road to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Seahawks. Now with a comfortable game lead in the NFC West, look to take care of business at home in front of the 12th man. The Pack won't go away easy, though. They're still in the hunt for a playoff berth of their own. Packers at Seahawks. Live.
Your home for the NFL in the Valley is 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and 1580thefanatic.com.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Today's National Lager Day, by the way.
Lager like I'm a
lumberjack.
No.
Lager, lager, like lager. Yeah, I guess the lager is like 500 years old, so not even as old as beer. But I guess Father Bino Shari was the father of modern brewing and the first person to use the term lager. He decided to call it lagering. And that's all I know about that. Past that, cheers. Enjoy a nice lager. Why not? Help yourself. Let's go to the text line and get this thing back up to date. Last Optimist says, I played Burrow and I lost. Would have won if I'd played Sam Darnold. Yeah, but really, who knew, right? If I had a choice between Sam Darnold and Joe Burrow, I'd have chose Joe Burrow. And it's still 40 points. Did you well? If you lost because of the difference of Sam Darnold and Joe Burrow, you were going to lose anyway, I think. I feel like that probably didn't make the difference. Bullseye says, this whole demotion thing sounds kind of rigged. Jeffrey, we'll see you in League 17. No, I don't know where I'll go. I haven't thought about it. It hasn't become real to me yet that I'm about to fall off the Premier League. Where were you, Keon? You're in League 2?
I was in League 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that good? Are they nice there, or are they just a-holes?
No, they were nice. Yeah. They were pretty nice. Yeah.
I might try to weasel into League 1. so I can punish Big George just for fun.
Just to do
Yeah.
it.
Swazman says Mike Vrabel is my real choice. Oh, sorry. I guess there's probably more to that than that. He says the Bears drafted a punter in the 4th round last year, plus a wide receiver at number 9, when they could have taken offensive and defensive linemen. Spoke to Bears hire someone like Lincoln Riley, even though he's a long shot. But Mike Vrabel is my real choice. Okay. I think he meant hopes the Bears hire someone like that.
Yeah, and I understand taking Odunze at 9. Like it's only crazy in hindsight because Odunze isn't the receiver that we kind of hoped he'd be year 1.
Or is he, and he just didn't have the right guy throwing to him yet?
I think he's got the right guy throwing it to him. I mean, they had a connection on Sunday even that was pretty nice. But like I just think that the rookie receivers coming in this season, they've all had a little bit more trouble than I would have thought.
Yeah. I mean, hang in there, Swoz, man. Better days ahead, I think. Navy Brad says, good afternoon, Blender World. I just realized that Shaggy from Scooby-Doo is really John Wick. Huh?
You're going to have to explain that. You can't just say that. What do you mean by that?
Based on what? Yeah. First and 15 says there's a lot of 8-fingered people at the what? What is an 8-fit? What does that come from?
Are we talking about an AI
thing?
That's the only thing that we've talked about that. Other than that, I've got nothing. I'm trying to help you right now.
Devil Hawk says, fair enough. Yeah, AI is very unreliable. I was just surprised that it generated a picture of a man with a blender. I'll be honest, that's one of the better things I've seen AI do. Usually it's way crazier than even this picture. And that guy looks like an older Eminem. You know what I mean? Like what you thought Eminem might have grew up to look like. Cardinal Art says, speaking of lager, may I please have a cold one, Randy?
Absolutely.
He says, you play to win the game.
That's right.
Except them Cowboys.
You guys are just getting some cardio out there.
Just the Tip says, Globe ain't that bad. Quiet town. One street off the highway you have, Mayberry. I spent some time in Globe. Armpit. Moist One says, okay. Hey, that Bears punter is putting up the most yardage for him. I'll tell you that. He says, Rattlers fan says, John Gruden would be awesome hire for the Bears. I don't think anybody's going to hire him.
Yeah, he's untouchable right now. And I think for very good reasons. Those emails are still pretty fresh. No one's hiring John Gruden at all.
Moist One says, wait, playoff team can get relegated by a non-playoff team? Yes, but not listeners. This is only for, us. If because remember, Rosalie comes back next year, and then whoever, presumably me, leaves. So it's only within the hosts. So if one of the other hosts, Randy, Keon, Ralph, end up below me in the end of the standings of the playoffs, they go bye-bye. This is the way it always has been. That's what got Keon. Of course, Keon was pretty much in the basement anyway.
We were already the season was already over when we decided that. I didn't even get a playoffs to know that could happen.
You still,
you can't, no,
wouldn't have made a difference.
Sure, but you can't say that's the way it's always been.
I thought it was the way it's
always
been.
The season was well over when we decided this.
Oh, this is after. Way after.
We didn't
do you really think it would have made a difference?
I have no idea. I don't remember what my team looked like.
I'd have to go back and look at that year. But that's the way it is now. So shut up. Fifth letter says.
Just say that is all I'm saying. Don't act like this is the way it's been. We've only done it a year, and I didn't get the chance to do anything about it.
This is the way. Oh boy. Fifth letter says, question, since the Raiders have sucked for so long, can they draft both Shedeur and Travis Hunter in the one spot? Like a sibling package. No, we don't.
Yeah, sadly, that's not how it works.
Unless they were Siamese twins, then you'd have to make an exception.
Otherwise, my team is owed many double drafts if that's how we're going to do it. My team was bad longer than the Raiders have been bad.
No, that's true. Devil Hawk says Shaggy from Scooby-Doo was actually voiced by Casey Kasem. Imagine Shaggy saying, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Like Scooby. Yeah. No, I knew that when I was a kid. I could tell. I was always good at voices. And I'm like, that's the guy from the Top 40. What the hell is this all about? Pull the plug says little town of Bethlehem equals armpit. And there's the other one.
Yeah, there's always you got two armpits.
Actually, that is the butthole of Arizona.
Okay. So we're still looking for armpit number 2.
Globe is an armpit. Tucson's a butthole. Moist One says, "Woof, okay, good. I could be looking at an early exit. I'm going against Josh Allen. Oh, you're going up against Thundar, the Santa Barbarian." Sluzman says, Keon's auto pick last year in the first round, League 2, was the ultimate doomsday. I drafted Laporta in the second round this year, and that killed me. Could have taken Derrick Henry.
Oof. That's right. I'll never forget that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, because I did the draft over there, and then I had to drive over to come back to work. So that was great. That's lovely.
I think I should be exempt from this whole relegation thing.
Okay, that's not no, sir. You were more than happy to laugh at me falling out of the league. So, very interesting.
Was that you?
I think he should be exempt.
I do.
He's the commissioner.
I mean, you're the commissioner. My opinion doesn't matter here.
All I know is this: wherever I go,
I disagree.
Wherever I go, I'm going to tinker with some of the points. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God.
Devil Hawk says, "May I submit for your consideration Yuma as the location of armpit number 2 in Arizona?" You could submit it. I will consider it. I mean, you got a tough competition with Apache Junction and Buckeye, you know?
Although Buckeye has really cleared its act up.
Yeah, I heard they're like growing like crazy.
Yeah, they have, and Howard Hughes is building a huge community out there.
He does that.
Yeah.
Last Optimist says Shaggy did play a radio DJ in some of the Scooby-Doo episodes. Use Casey's one-liners in his normal voice. Pro Dog says Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator, once again will be very sought after for head coaching. You think the Lions will be able to keep him, or do you think that he's for sure going to go somewhere and be a head coach?
They only kept him last year because he wanted to stay. He felt like he had unfinished business. I think if they win the Super Bowl this year, Ben Johnson's not coming back. That guy's going to be a head coach somewhere.
I don't know that they're going to.
It's his
win
job
the
if
Super
he
Bowl.
wants it. I mean, like anybody that is looking for an offensive-minded coach that's going to be able to keep defenses on their heels, like Ben Johnson's going to get hired anywhere he wants to go as far as the available jobs.
Yeah, I don't know. So if they don't win a Super Bowl and they came this close, maybe he sticks around.
Maybe if he thinks that, like, okay, one more year, let's give it a shot and see how it goes. But at some point, though, those head coaching jobs, they don't stay open forever. You don't get to stay the hot candidate every year. So, there's a little bit of strike while the iron is hot.
Cardinal Art says, I believe the Bears need to give the hoodie a call. Well, the hoodie is kind of getting deep in with this UNC thing, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he keeps talking about, we'll see if maybe. I think what we talked about on the show the other day, this is sort of him making himself known, getting his name out there. Oh, do we want Bill to be going to the North Carolina, Tar Heels, or can we bring him into the Chicago Bears? I think he's trying to, like you guys said, use this as leverage.
Maybe. Latina Leprechaun says, my car broke down once in Kingman on the way to Vegas. Oof, that was the armpit. Yeah, if your car breaks down in Kingman, just leave it there. Just go. Just go. Just get out.
Oh, no.
Keep going. Find a way. Don't go back for it. Swuzman says, Belichick will go to Dallas if the job is available.
I don't think so.
There was some speculation. I think I saw Florio talking about this on Pro Football or NBC, and he was saying, well, maybe Mike McCarthy just leaves on his own as a free agent. I guess at the end of this season, he could split.
As long as he doesn't plan on being a coach.
No, I mean, like,
coach again.
But see, they have the rights to him for another year, right? Is that how that works?
No, his contract runs through the end of this year.
Oh, so then he could just go wherever he wants after this season.
Yes, he could.
To be a coordinator.
Well, why can't he be a coach?
Because no one would hire him to do that.
No, I get that, but there's dumb people everywhere. I mean, look at some of the other teams in the NFL.
You think that after what Mike McCarthy has shown in Dallas, someone is hiring him to be a head coach? Who?
The Bears do dumb things all the time.
Panthers, Bears.
Panthers, Bears.
The
Well,
Panthers
aren't getting rid of
already, the Panthers just hired their head coach and
Yeah.
they like him.
Yeah.
They're starting to play better finally.
Yeah,
Vegas.
Keon, you got to know that the Panthers, they're according to that wild card out there. You don't know what the owner's going to do.
I don't think so, but I do think he's starting to get the idea that that's not a job that anybody wants.
The Jets are dumb as hell.
Yeah.
The Jets are dumb as
Dumb
hell.
as hell.
But they're not going to hire Mike McCarthy.
The Saints are clueless.
I think the Saints are in cap hell. I don't think they're clueless.
Well, cap hell doesn't mean you can't bring this fat 3 sandwich eating son bitch in there.
I just don't see that. It doesn't match the profile of the Saints. No, I don't think that Mike McCarthy fits anything about the Saints.
So
I don't think the Saints are a poorly run organization. I think they mortgaged their future for the present at the time, and now they're paying the price. And they're just stuck there. There's not a whole lot they can do, but I don't think they're so incompetent they'd hire Mike McCarthy. No.
Yeah. Swazman says, Jeffrey's right, Keon. McCarthy could go to several teams. See, he's on my side.
I mean, you can say that. I would believe
Just
it when
did.
I believe
With
it when
my
I
mouth.
see it. I disagree.
So last night, a lot was going on. Not just with the game, but also at Joe Burrow's house. A lot going on at Joe Burrow's house that is like, oh, okay. So the story is that the police get a call. Hey, there's a break-in here at Joe Burrow's house. So they come running. And so they're on the phone talking to it's like, who the hell are you? They go, I'm Olivia Ponton or whatever. Who are you? Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So Joe Burrow's house got broken into when he was playing the football game, just like what happened to Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. Only this time she showed up. She's like, yeah, I showed up to the house. Somebody broke in. She said someone broke into my house. Ooh. And it's like completely messed up. And she came in, saw a broken window in the bedroom and had been ransacked. And so she calls the cops. And so there's a lot going on there. So I didn't know he was dating a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. Didn't know that. I wonder if the people who broke in were like, this dude just bought a $3 million Batmobile. We got to rob his house. And they did. So also the documents, it's to get weird, right? They're like, well, I don't know why Ponton was there. The HCSO has documents that state that she is, quote, employed by Mr. Burrow. Huh? Excuse me? What do you mean employed? Is that his girlfriend or something else?
Are they business partners? I don't know. I don't know.
And then she was able to give authorities a non-detailed itemization of what items were possibly missing. I have a lot of questions here.
Well, I mean, if they live together, then
that is she the employee? Swazman says, Jeffrey, it's like me as a pet sitter. I'm basically house sitting and pet sitting, so I'm in charge.
Hey, look, Mick Jagger.
You call your girlfriend an employee?
No. Well, Mick Jagger used to have assistants that part of their job was to do the dirty with Mick.
Yeah. Well, that's called prostitution.
Well, but he employed her to be his assistant.
Yeah. Well, then that's sexual harassment.
Well, no,
there's a lot of different things going on here.
They agreed upon before they took he paid very handsomely, from what I understand. But that's
that was a different time, man.
That's true story right there.
The moist one says maid. Maybe she's a maid.
Swimsuit
Illustrated model
seems unlikely because they're dating. He's not. I don't think she's the maid.
Cocky Hen says maybe Burrow hired his own masseuse after that whole Watson thing,
and it was a person who's never done that job. No, that doesn't make any sense either. I think what's probably more likely is just rich people shenanigans, where they're just in there. They've got like a business, whatever, and so like it was just easier to list her as the employee. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand that kind of stuff.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, Jeffrey, I like the way you're speaking about Mike McCarthy. Hope you're right. Yeah, I remember Heavy Metal Maniac is the Cowboys fan. Let him go somewhere else. Anyone want a washed up coach? Maybe in Vegas there? Huh? They're used to losing. Latina Leprechaun says, I think the word you're looking for here is Joe Burrow's female swimsuit model friend is an escort. Dude doesn't need an escort.
And she doesn't need to be an escort. She's a swimsuit model. She's already getting millions of dollars hand over fist from, well, first off, Sports Illustrated, but also I think like Victoria's Secret and stuff. Like, what you need to be an escort for when you're just being handed money.
This makes all of this very, very like, why would you say that you're an employee? Why?
I don't think did she say she was an employee, or did the reports say she's listed as that?
HCSO documents state that she is employed by Mr. Burrow, and they got that information from her. So, Moldy Tuna Fish says, I told my wife that she has a nice 6-pack of ass last night, and she slapped me, made me sleep on the couch. Won't be using that again.
Yeah, well, we
told you not to.
Yeah, specifically not to say that. And Jeffrey even came up with the alternative of just tell her she has a nice ass, and then you didn't do that.
That's on you, man.
Yeah, that's all you. Yeah,
it's all you. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, other things. I don't know. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
At Diamond Dave's Desert Wholesale Diamonds,
we offer incredible diamonds, both mined and cultivated, all at amazingly low prices.
Check out these cultivated lab-grown diamond earrings.
2 carats total weight, collection color and lab-grown, only $25.90.
And she'd love this amazing tennis bracelet in natural mined.
4 carats total weight in yellow or white gold, only $39.90.
And how about this diamond chain in cultivated?
12.5 carats total weight, collection color and lab-grown, only $79.90.
And last but not least, especially this year, 1.5 carat floating diamond pendant.
Collection color and lab grown, only $9.90.
Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Learn more at Viking.com. In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
That's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Still just can't get over that poor guy who messed up Amani, the last name I don't know. I can't say it.
Oruwari.
See, you can't say it either. So I feel bad. You know, for him, it's like he's like the guy who was like, "Oh no, President Lincoln, you definitely should go to this play tonight. I'm telling you, you'll have the time of your life. You know, it'll blow your mind, seriously." And then, you know what I mean? That's about how it feels, I'm sure.
I don't think so. Being the guy that didn't quite corral a football is not quite the same thing as the guy that got the president shot.
You didn't get him shot. All you just did was suggest the play.
Just suggest the place where he got shot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little different. It's like he couldn't know unless he did.
I'm saying the stakes are different. One is a game.
I don't think they serve steak at the Ford Theater. It was just a theater. I mean, they got dinner before, maybe after. I mean, I don't know what you're reading. I don't believe there were stakes involved. 888-368-1580. So anyway, the Panthers now, because of how bad the Cowboys are, the Panthers are favored in the next game. It's the first time the Carolina Panthers have been favored in 2 years. That's how bad they've been and how long they've been that bad. And then they're not really favored that much because, as Keon Rose has told us on this very show, anything, below 2 points is a pick 'em.
Yeah, I mean, because the line could move. Game day, this thing could be Cowboys favored.
Yeah, the sports books have the Panthers either 1 point or 1.5 point favorite over the Cowboys. But hey, still, it's something. You know, they gotta win. I mean, they're not. They did. You know, I mean, how many wins they have? 3 now.
The Carolina Panthers, they have 3.
Yeah, and then so the Giants are the number 1 pick, or is it somebody else?
It's the Raiders.
The Raiders, that's right. That's between. They both have only 2 wins.
Yeah, they have the same record, but
what put the Raiders in the toilet further than the Giants to get the first pick?
I believe
starts getting like point totals and
I don't know. I don't know exactly what the tiebreaker was there. I think the strength of schedule, though, the Raiders have the slightly easier schedule, and therefore have the first pick.
Just a tip says Randy is the best. Great voice, loves the pups in the background. His ability to keep alcohol effects on the down low. Says take that all together, and he says you should host a NASCAR show.
I did for a while.
Yeah, I think he thinks you should do it again. Moldy Tuna Fish says, did you just say that Abraham Lincoln was suggested to attend Ford Theater and it blew his mind? Yeah, I did slip that joke in there. He says, too soon, Jeffrey. It's not too soon. It's almost 200 years ago.
Too soon.
Almost 200 years.
Republicans and Democrats believed very different things than what. That's how long ago it was.
Wildly different parties. It has flopped several times since then. What the Republicans or Democrats think of any given thing. So I got to see Ronald Reagan go, well, I'm a Democrat, but you guys suck. And then he went over to the Republican Party. And I wonder what he'd think about it now. Walter Mellon says, I was thinking for a second, why would everybody immediately assume it's paying for some sort of sexual favors? It's the fourth dimension. I never said that. Did you say that? Nobody ever said that.
I never said that.
We thought it. Free Guy says,
suggested it for sure.
I know I said Cowboys money line. Yes, I did read this. He was wondering if I read this. I did read this.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, a long time ago, Free Guy.
Like 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to listen or you're going to miss your texts.
Yeah. He says, no, not that one. Oh, geez. Okay. Just scroll up. Which one then, man? You have several texts before that one.
If you keep sending texts over and over again, you get reshuffled to the bottom of the list.
But you also got to listen. You got to keep listening. I don't know which text you're talking about. The one after. The one after. There is no one after. The one after is the one I just read. Which one? Damn it. Last Optimist says, anytime you see an Instagram model traveling to an exotic location, there's some rich guy behind the scenes enjoying your company for the evening. You know what I'm saying? There are caps on how much you can gift a girl for company. So I guess Joe made her an employee to get around that. You guys, Joe is a young, good-looking, very rich guy. He doesn't need to pay people for the bumpity-bumpity.
And she makes so much money from just being really hot.
She got 8 million followers.
She doesn't have to do that either. She doesn't need to be paid for that. What are you talking about?
No, that's true.
Yeah. It's probably if you're dating somebody and you got a business thing going together, if I make you an employee, if we break up, I can just fire you, as opposed to now we have to split this business and it's going to be
dangerous, though.
Weird and awkward.
It's dangerous, though.
Yeah.
No, listen, it's not always about the bumpity bumping. That's all I'm saying. Free guy. Okay. Let's see here. Moving on. Deebo Samuel. What's going on there? Who's right? Who's wrong on this? Deebo's like saying, I am not struggling. He hears people say Deebo's struggling this year. He says, I'm not struggling. I'm just not getting the ball. Not getting the ball. All right. So what's going on there with Deebo Samuel? Is it because he's struggling? I mean, he's had 64 targets and he has had 40 catches out of those 64 targets. And he's had a touchdown and 553 yards. Seems like pretty good ratio, right? It's not like he's bad. So then the other thing is, are you getting open? Is Deebo getting open? Is Brock Purdy just going through his progressions and you're not it? So, I mean, which way do you look at this? Because just because a wide receiver's numbers aren't high doesn't mean it's his fault. For a minute, we looked at Marvin Harrison Jr. and been like, yeah, Kyler's just not getting him the ball. But then when Kyler did try to give him the ball, well, of course, he did underthrow, or, Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't doing the kind of moves and things to help his quarterback. And so he's part of the reason he's struggling. So then you got to look at Deebo and say, okay, what is Deebo's part in this? Is he struggling, or is Brock Purdy not getting him the ball?
I would say neither. I would say the offense just doesn't lend itself to Deebo being the main option this particular year. I think having Christian McCaffrey be in the backfield and being somebody that can always be eligible as a receiver and
he's not there anymore.
Exactly. And Deebo is kind of operating in that weird sort of running back, sort of wide receiver space that when McCaffrey's out there, there are opportunities for Deebo that he's just not getting this year. And especially in the red zone, where like Deebo had 7 touchdowns a year ago, he's got 1 this year.
Yeah.
Like the offense is just different to match the injuries that they've had, the kind of season they're having. I don't think it's a.
Is that why Brock Purdy is trying to go quicker to George Kittle and Juwan Jennings? It's just easier to find them quicker because the line is breaking down on him.
The line's kind of breaking down on him, but also Deebo he doesn't necessarily have to be the deep threat. And I think that the Niners have been targeting downfield more to try and make up for that lack of explosiveness without CMC. So I think Deebo is already not operating in that space a ton. Like he can, but that's not what his role was in the offense. The offense just doesn't use him that way this year. They don't need him in that same way this year.
Chosen One says Deebo is struggling. Look at the number of drops. All right, targeted 64 times, and he's made 40 catches. So is that an unreasonable ratio of targets to? And remember, not every drop is on the receiver, and not every drop is on the quarterback. Not every interception is on the quarterback.
He was targeted. Like this doesn't even seem like a bad ratio. And I'm not great at math, so someone will probably
he's
check me
missed
on
14 out of 64. Doesn't seem that bad.
But yeah, it doesn't seem that bad, and it doesn't seem like a ratio that's that different from most other years for Deebo. He was targeted 89 times last year. He caught 60 of those. He was targeted 94 times the year before. He caught 56 of those.
He seems on target to get the amount of targets he usually does. Yeah. So now you have to say, well, maybe it is him. Maybe it is him.
He's getting the number of targets he usually does, and he's probably going to get the same number of receptions. So it's not him not catching the ball. The offense just doesn't require that he's as involved, and like especially in the red zone where the touchdowns are going to be happening the most. Like they have other options they're going to, because Deebo isn't the threat that he used to be. I don't think it's like a struggling thing. It's a scheme thing. He's not the focal point of the scheme. Where when Deebo had his really breakout season in 21, he had 1,400 yards that year. He had 6 touchdowns. It was like 18 yards a reception. You can't do that every year. Like that's a crazy thing to have to maintain. Sometimes the scheme, the way that teams are defending you in a year just dictates that you're not getting the same looks that you were getting before. Defenses change.
Baker's Cocky Hens says, guys, Devo from Friday is dead. Okay, that's why he sucks now. He says, seriously, though, Devo complains about being used as a running back forever. And, then he complains he's not getting the ball enough.
I still think those two things are not inconsistent at all. I think he wants to be used more as a wide receiver than a running back. And he would still like to have the ball in his hands like every wide receiver that's ever lived.
Beer Nut says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Wanted to thank you for the VIP Fuel Fest tickets. Beer Nuts Jr. really had an awesome time. He has a super smile with all the cars.
Nice.
Lacrosse Guy says, I'm glad my text goes straight to the top. Just read his off the bottom. Oh, brother. All right, listen, everybody. That is 1 hour down, and we got 2 to go. We've got college football to talk about, a bunch more NFL to talk about, other assorted things. So keep it right here. We'll be back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-600-9595. 800-600-9595. 800-600-9595.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin. No way! Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Did you know that vitamins are your partners in health, not just inside, but outside too? These nutrients are key to our daily well-being. And for anyone who can get pregnant, folic acid is a must for preventing birth defects, helping you have a healthier pregnancy. The Arizona Department of Health Services is offering 3 months of free daily vitamins with folic acid. Power your health inside and out. Get your free vitamins at azdhs.gov/PowerMe A2C.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. At least today, my back doesn't hurt as bad.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
It was a terrifying night, though.
Oh.
See, I knew that if I got a good night's sleep, this would probably go away. You know what I mean? But I was lying there, and every time I'd have to roll over, because I'm a side sleeper, and I got to roll over, and that was the noise. My wife was like, "Do you want me to go downstairs?" I'm like, "I bet you do." I got through the night, and I was okay. Kind of I'm sore as hell, though. Whatever it was, it just made all my back muscles sore. But at least, I'm back to normal at least. So I'm lucky. Some people have to live with this kind of thing all the time, and I can't imagine that. And I feel like a big wuss even having had brought it up.
You're not a big wuss.
Come on. The pain that you had that day was real. What are you supposed to feel bad for?
Just about dropped me right there on air. I was just like,
we heard you. I'm sorry. It's an involuntary problem with your back. You can't.
Involuntary is right. My wife, I was sitting there, and here it is. Here's my imitation of it. So we were watching. I'm like, no. She's like, do you have to do that? Yes. Oh my God.
By the way, yelling like that, it releases endorphins. It does help with the pain. Scientifically proven. Yeah, that's the reason why we do it.
Well, for me, it was bringing my knees up towards my face. That was the way to get that. It was bad enough where we grilled some chicken last night. She said, "Are you up for grilling?" And I'm like, "Well, you just help me get the cover off the grill and light it, and and she's like, "No." She's like, "You know what? I'm gonna grill." And she's like, "I'll go ahead." She's like, "I need to learn how to do this anyway." And I said, "Okay, I'll consult." So I'm standing out there next to her with the grill, right? And we had lit it. I showed her all the stuff, and she's like, "Okay, yeah." And then, as always happens, this new grill has these little tent cover things that go across the element, because I use propane. And usually they catch on fire. When I first turn it on, it burns off whatever was cooked last. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's a way to clean it, so I don't care. And so this is kind of like it burnt, and then there's just a little bit of fire left, right? So I bent over, and I did what I usually do, and I just to blow out that one little last flame. Well, seems simple enough. Bending over and doing that motion affecting my back, and all of a sudden I'm in the backyard. And I'm bent over, totally bent over, holding my knees, and I can't move. And I'm like, "Put a chair in front of me."
Man, I know what you're feeling though. When I was 22, I worked at a World Market, and I was working, in the back and moving all the big heavy boxes and stuff. And I was not using proper lifting technique, and that weekend my back was done. I couldn't move. Exactly what was happening to you is what was happening to me. My brother thought I was overdoing it.
Mm-hmm.
No, man, it wouldn't move when I wanted it to move, and anytime I sneezed, because it was dusty back there.
Sure.
Oh my God, I thought I was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
You can't help it. It's all involuntary. It's just you just got to get through it. Take some Advil.
It's like someone just grabs and squeezes the crap out of your muscle.
Yeah, but it's the muscle itself. Yeah, there's nothing you can do, and I don't think that you should feel like a wuss, because that's your body is doing that to you. You have no say in the matter. You can't grit it out. You're just stuck.
I think with a sore back, everything you do, your back will, bite you for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't walk, you can't turn, you can't stand up, you can't sit down, you can't lay down.
You're scared.
Yeah.
I learned doing the show yesterday that if I keep, see how my hands are here? Everything's got to be equal. Like my arms got to be straight. Everything got to be straight no matter what. If I deviated from that, oh God, that would happen. So, everybody goes through it a little bit different, whatever it is. And like I said, the reason I feel like a wuss is because there's people going through far worse than just one day of a locked up back. You know what I mean? So,
but
sorry.
the one day that you had is real. Like it doesn't become imaginary because it doesn't happen every day.
No.
Well, I made it. So here we go.
Congrats.
We're thankful you're here.
Same. I know it's not easy.
It's like the universe wanted me to feel what it was like for other people. Thanks.
Lesson learned. Please never do
like
that
I
again.
Had a pretty good handle on it, but all right. Guess I needed that 24 hours of agony. Thank you. Wow. Free Guy says, okay, Free Guy was, I don't know what he was getting at, but now we've got it. He says, I was joking about, he goes, I'm not even on parole. What are you talking about? I'm scrolling back. I don't see anything about parole. I'll just read your text. He says, I apologize. And to make up for it, I'm going to give you my NFL Free Guy lock of the week. Thanks. It's the Cardinals covering the spread against the Patriots. I think they bounce back and win pretty easily. My lock of the week is right 85% of the time, 100% of the time. It's not really a lock then, is it? But
yeah, that's but you know,
way to go on a limb against the Patriots.
They if the draft were today, they'd have the third pick in the draft.
Yeah,
again.
Wow.
So
fantastic.
Well, thank you, Free Guy.
The Patriots are already talking about, maybe Mayo won't come back next year. Like that's the kind of conversation they're having. I don't think that's much of a.
Yeah, I was going to ask to talk to your parole officer, but I guess if you're not on parole, so what, are you escaped? I mean, Baker's Cocky Hens still wants to talk about Deebo Samuel. I'm about done talking about Deebo Samuel, but he says Deebo can't get open. Okay, Deebo has never had separation skills. Always a screen guy or hand it to him guy when he does well. Jennings, Ayuk, those are the route runners. Do what you do well, Deebo. Although he complains well too, so at least he's doing that this year.
Yeah, but even if you look at the yards from scrimmage for Deebo, he's at 645. He's on pace for at least what his numbers were a couple of years ago. Like this,
that's what I thought. He just seems like he's on pace. He just needs those other two games. Are those other two games attainable? He does have about 3 less targets a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's in the range that he always is. He's just not scoring touchdowns, actually. And
if he's not doing that, why are you going to target him more? Go for the thing that is going to help you. Free Guy says, I didn't say money line. I said against the spread. Okay. All right. Noted still. The Patriots, but all right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Heisman Trophy finalists. Now, yesterday we were doing the show. We didn't have time to really dwell on this. But Cam Scatterbo did not make it to the Final Four of that. Was he invited to show up? I mean, he'll probably be at the banquet. I don't know.
No, he was not.
No, he was not.
Not even a little bit.
Because they only invite 4 guys.
Oh, I thought there was like other guys got to come to the buffet.
No.
No, in that case.
It's only 4.
Was it right or wrong that he was not invited? I feel like it was probably okay. I wasn't expecting him to get invited with Ashton Genty there.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either.
You got Cam Ward, and you got Dylan Gabriel, you got Ashton Genty, and you got Travis Hunter. Sound right to you?
Seems like the right 4 guys to me.
Anybody else left out?
If Scatterbo had a little bit more of the media attention earlier in the year, maybe he's a bigger part of that conversation, but not like that's been the 4 guys all year. That's been the 4 guys.
Nobody had a reason to pay that close attention to ASU early on, other than be like, wow, they're doing better than we thought they would do. But okay, their focus was other places. But then as the year went on, then they started paying more attention. They're like, holy crap, this kid's pretty good. This kid is pretty good.
And Scatterbo got better as the year went on, which for the Heisman kind of works against you. You want to get on the map early, and he was great early, but like these other guys were just putting up video game numbers to start. And obviously Travis Hunter plays offense and defense, which is always going to give him the edge there because he's doing both at such a high level. Who would you kick out for Cam Scatterbo to show up?
Well,
I don't know.
Chief Skull says Cam Ward. He says they got the wrong Cam. Cam Ward shouldn't be there. Miami didn't even make the playoffs.
That's not what the Heisman's about. I don't want the Heisman to be attached to, you got to make the playoffs too.
Yeah.
Because
just like the MVP shouldn't be attached to certain things.
We call football the ultimate team game, which means we understand that you can do your job and still not make the playoffs, still not have a great team around you. And I'm sorry, you look at the Cam Ward numbers, the 4,000 passing yards, the 36 touchdowns. You got to send Cam Ward there. You do. I'm sorry.
So who's going to win? Is it Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, Dylan Gabriel, or Cam Ward? Everybody's thinking probably Travis Hunter.
Probably Travis Hunter, but like I wouldn't be shocked if Ashton Genty won it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got nearly 2,500 yards rushing, man. Like that's a lot.
More of a chip for the Cam Scadaboo shoulder. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
That's Optimist says, congratulations, Keon, for the Nationals winning the Major League Baseball draft lottery.
That's pretty fun. You know, like they got to build through the farm system because this ownership group, they do not spend money.
It's not as much fun. It's not as much fun with Major League Baseball as other stuff, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Like, yeah, I'll take it.
Cheese Skull says 2,000 rushing yards is harder to achieve than 4,000 passing yards. Yeah.
Is it?
Is it? It's just
Because
different.
it's not-
You take
yeah.
more punishment, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I don't know. It's about who's the most valuable, and not even the most valuable player because the Heisman. It's like who's the most outstanding player. It's hard to tell me that all those games I watched with Oregon and all those games I watched with Cam Ward, where like they're just doing ridiculous things, pushing the ball downfield and making some of the electrifying plays that they did, and giving their teams chances to win ball games. I'm not going to sit here and act like that's just not impressive to me, what Dylan Gabriel and Cam Ward did. I'm very impressed by that.
So I finally now have an understanding of how the whole Heisman process works. Okay. I'm going to share it with everybody in case I know Keon knows this probably backwards, forwards, and upside down, but a lot of other people don't. So I'm going to share it with you. The Heisman Trophy Trust is what governs the voting process for the Heisman Trophy. And here are the people who have a say. First and foremost, 870 journalists, sports guys, writers that Randy hates so much, the sports writers. The majority are sports journalists, and they're supposed to. Now, here's what it says on the Heisman thing: they are informed, competent, and impartial. Ooh, what a load that is.
I think that's the ideal. We all know that doesn't actually occur.
No, 145 voters from each of the 6 regions, and that is 870. So that's the big one. Previous Heisman winners get a vote. 58 living Heisman recipients can vote, not required to, and don't lose their voting privileges if they don't, but they are welcome to. And then the fans get 1 vote. The fans, not even each. A fan vote is conducted through the Nissan Heisman House, and that is the collective single fan vote that completes the total of the 928 votes that are used to determine who the Heisman winner is. So that's all fine for voting, but is this also the same way we got the list? How did we get the nominees, the 4? How did they end up there? You see what I'm saying? Or has the voting already been done and these are the top 4 guys and they're going to go, aha, here's the one who actually won. Is that it? I mean, is it 1 vote or is it, hey, who do you think? And everybody said, oh, I think this guy. I think this guy. These 4 are the top 4. And then they say, all right, vote again. That's the part I don't know.
I believe the process is the same for the finalists. And then, you just do it again.
Beer Bob says they do awards for best quarterback, best linebacker, best running back in college, right? So if so, why don't they just grab the Heisman nominees out of that group of players? Because they have their own way of doing it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's that they're not connected awards. It's just they're just not the same. I don't know what to tell
question,
you.
But
I understand where you're coming from, and I think that you're not necessarily wrong. But that's just not how they do it.
Raven Kid says, "Afternoon, guys. Did you already go over the Pick'em contest winners for the week?" Yeah,
like an hour ago.
He says, "If so, I'll make sure to go back and listen." Why are you excited about that? Because I'm just curious why you're excited about that. Why are you specifically excited about that? Did I just spoil it? That he didn't win?
Yeah,
I think I might have just spoiled it.
You might have wanted to put the spoiler warning on.
Unless you're Sharp Cat, which I'm pretty sure you're not. No, you did not win. You didn't win it.
Maybe he is Sharp Cat.
He's not Sharp Cat.
Maybe he is.
No, I've seen Raven Kid on there. Is Raven Kid? Raven Kid, you did not win on the tiebreaker. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. The tiebreaker. Wow. Okay, so this is really different. So 5 people had the same total at 49 for the tiebreaker. I don't know how the poolhost.com site decided this, because they decide but Sharp Cat won, even though Raven Kid also had 49, and so did Heather from the Land and Skull Season, and Alan. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest, I do not know how that works, but there was a winner, and you're not it. Sorry. Better luck next time. I really don't understand. I don't know what other tiebreaker factors they use. I'll have to ask them that. So 888-368-1580. So the Heisman Saturday is when they will announce that, just so you know. Other awards, Kenny Dillingham is a finalist for the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year Award. So that's cool. Feels like he should be a lock for something like that. I mean, you go from 3-9 to 11-2. You win the whole damn thing in your first year of being in the Big 12. Who else? Who else do you think is going to beat Kenny Dillingham for the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year Award? I mean, here's some other names. Shane Beamer from South Carolina.
He's got a good case.
Kurt Signetti from Indiana. Spencer Danielson from Boise State. Didn't we beat them? Did we beat them?
No, never played them.
Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame. Dan Lanning, Oregon. Rhett Lashley from SMU. Jeff Munkin, Army. And then Kirby Smart from Georgia. So the only one you say there gives a good fight to Dillingham would be Shane Beamer.
I would say Beamer, and I would say Lashley over at SMU. I don't think that they were supposed to have the season they had either. And there they are in the playoffs. So and they were like dominating people too. So those are probably the ones that stand out the most to me. The Indiana coach too is probably up there as well, just because the season that they had where they.
Yeah, that's what 1st and 15 is saying. He says he'll actually win it. Why will he win it?
Kurt Signetti, they were almost undefeated, and they had a season they were just one of those out of nowhere teams, and doing it in the Big Ten. I do think that voters probably respect that conference a little bit more. So he probably will win it, to be honest. Well, but I like Beamer, man. Like
Dillingham was Big 12 Coach of the Year. That's a done deal.
Yeah.
So all right. So I guess we're gonna get screwed over on this deal again, huh?
I don't know. Here we go. This is just one of those. There are a lot of really good options, because I mean, Beamer at South Carolina, they had a hell of a year, and they did it in the SEC, where they didn't have the top talent, but they still took down a lot of very good teams over the course of this season.
So you don't think he's going to win? Dillingham will not win.
Dillingham can win it, but I don't know who's going to win.
I mean, we didn't think that the Sun Devils would be put into the 4 slot and get a bye either. So you never know.
I'm just pushing some of those other names because they have similar stories. Like the Sun Devils aren't the only surprise team in this playoff, and that's the reason.
We are the surprise team with a bye week.
Sure.
Doesn't that rise above all these other stories?
No, because we got to look at your conference. What was your level of competition? Who were you playing? And did you have a tougher road there and all of that other stuff? Like the Big 12 just isn't seen as highly as at least 2 of the other 4 conferences. That they are the Big 12 is kind of lagging behind Big 10 and SEC. I do think that those coaches are going to get more of a nod because you're playing with if you're for instance, if you're Shane Beamer at South Carolina, you're in a conference with how many teams made the playoff from your conference? Like a bunch of them. Your road was a little tougher, so that might play for voters. I'm just putting out other options. I don't think that just the bye week gets you the edge there. Like, who did you actually play Embiid and all that other stuff?
Damn the man, Kenny Dillingham. Damn the man.
I hope he wins it. I mean, he is certainly worthy of the award, but there's just a lot of really good names out there this year.
Amaya D says, do you think Ashton Gentry would rush for the same amount of yards if he was in any other conference?
How can I know that?
Yeah, that's just
that's the thing that makes this a hard decision to make. I don't know how you can know that. He's an explosive runner. He's violent. It looks good on TV when he's running through three people. He looks like the second coming of Najee Harris, but he's doing it in the Mountain West. I have no idea if you put him behind a better offensive line, had a better quarterback, a better pass game, but had tougher competition, what does he do? I have no clue, and I don't think anyone can know. You're projecting a little.
And my ID back 7 days ago when you said, I'm sorry you went to Mountain View, because I went to Mountain View High School in Mesa. I went back when we won our football games, and no, you're right. Back then it did smell bad in the morning. If you get there to the school, you could smell the dairy farm that was just they got rid of that dairy farm and built houses. But at the time I went there, it was Mountain View. That's not even, you're not hurting our feelings at all with that.
We were aware.
That was a true story. It was like, oh, God, can I go to class early, please? Yeah. All right, back to the text line and other assorted things when we come back. And I got some more Dillingham for you. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
At Diamond Dave's Desert Wholesale Diamond,
we offer incredible diamonds, both mined and cultivated, all at amazingly low prices.
Check out these cultivated lab-grown diamond earrings.
2 carats total weight, collection color and lab-grown, only $25.90.
And she'd love this amazing tennis bracelet in natural mined.
4 carats total weight in yellow or white gold, only $39.90.
And how about this diamond chain in cultivated?
12.5 carats total weight, collection color and lab-grown, only $79.90.
And last but not least, especially this year, 1.5 carat floating diamond pendant.
Collection color and lab grown, only $9.90.
Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Learn more at Viking.com.
Sunday morning, catch live NFL coverage on The Fanatic.
The Washington Commanders are on the road this weekend to take on the New Orleans Saints. The Saints will be without their starting quarterback, Derek Carr. The Commanders are still in the hunt for the postseason, looking for a wild card berth. Commanders at Saints, Sunday morning at 10:30, right after the Weekend Warriors. Live.
Your home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Bear Claw says, hey, Jeffrey, I'm Sharp Cat. Since I won already once this year, you could give it to one of the other people. Not the way it goes, man. you can choose to hand it to somebody, but we got to give you the prize directly. That's the way it works. So that's very nice of you, though. Against the Spread says, hey, wasn't Mesa Mountain View just in the 6A state finals? I don't know, because I did what you're supposed to do when you graduate high school. I went on with my life. I have no idea. No idea. Anyway, Baker's Cocky Hen says, Cam Rattlesnake Scataboo should be there. He shakes that helmet and opponents, Lamar Jackson, their pants like it's a Kmart commercial. There's a lot there.
There's so many layers to that. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
If you know, you know.
People might ship their pants. Yes.
I just shipped my bed.
Silver Pop says, sounds like Keon is a dilly hater and an SEC lover.
I actually gave you no prediction on who was going to win or who I thought should win, and I don't know how you took that from that. That's like if I said, you know, the old tweet goes, I like waffles, and you went, so you hate pancakes? I didn't say that at all. Nothing. I didn't say that at all.
I know somebody who hates pancakes.
Jeffrey said, who else could win it? And I pointed out the names.
I know somebody who hates pancakes and waffles, and they just hate Texas. But it was bad enough. Texas lost. Here's the thing. Yesterday we were talking about. I wasn't paying attention. Texas lost their game there, huh? Didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Georgia. Was it Georgia that beat Texas
again? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not trying to make this painful for you.
No.
But
not at all.
There's this congressman who went on the floor, and Mike Collins of Georgia. He was out on the floor today, and he made some demands in reference to your Texas Longhorns, Randy.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to demand that Texas be sent back to the Big 12 and to congratulate the 2024 SEC champions, the Georgia Bulldogs. After the Dogs' historic win over the Longhorns, the SEC's championship over the weekend, which, by the way, was the second time Georgia has beat Texas this season, the Dogs have proved without a doubt that Texas just ain't ready for SEC ball. What an incredible win, Mr. Speaker. Not only did the Dogs absolutely smoke Texas in overtime, but they did it with class, style, and a backup quarterback. This is the 15th SEC championship in Georgia history, and the Dogs aren't done yet. As we move into the playoffs, don't let off the gas. You've got a national championship to bring back to Athens, and don't let anyone stop you. Mr. Speaker, go Dogs! And I yield back.
Where's your guys' congressman? You know, the Texas
somebody. So you say your guys? I don't live there.
For your Texas Longhorns,
I don't live there. I root for that team. I don't give a damn who the congressman in Texas is. I don't live in Texas.
That's kind of painful. That hurt, didn't it?
Did it?
You want to maybe move to Georgia and then work on having him impeached?
No. He look, they won the game. He can say what he wants to say. But if it means that we got to go back to the Big 12, boy, we ought to take Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina. Boy, just about everybody else that was behind us. All of us should just go back to the Big 12. Let's just leave Georgia alone in the SEC.
Mike Collins is a hater. I mean, you're right. That's the first thing I thought was, but yeah, they were in the championship game.
Yeah, we beat everybody else in your conference, just not you. So what are you saying about your conference?
Well, they did beat you twice, though.
That's the reason why I didn't sell it. I can't. What he said can't even fight it.
You'd like another piece of them, wouldn't you?
They'd won the game.
Could you beat them on a third game?
Oh God, I don't want to see them anymore. I think that's a bad matchup for us. That's if we see them a third time, I don't know what to do.
Kyle G says, if only Georgian lawmakers gave that much energy and passion to their poverty rates, education rankings, or disaster relief.
Oh boy, it'd be a metropolis down there.
That's a good point.
Utopia.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Texas will respond with a all right. Yeah. Matthew McConaughey is probably going to have to speak up for your team.
He could say what he wants to say. They won the game. I don't care.
Bear Claw says, oh, by the way, have you mailed my first win? If not, mail together. I don't know. We don't usually mail them out. People are supposed to pick them up. unless I decided just to do that for you. Did I tell you I was doing that for you? If I did tell you I was doing that for you, yes. If I didn't tell you I was doing that for you, it's still waiting at the station. Coom says, yeah, Centennial beat Mesa Mountain View in the 6A championship, giving Coach Taylor the tie in all-time Arizona chips. Is the original still Coach Parker from Mountain View? I don't know. I've been so far out of it for 30 years. Go Toros. Anyway, back to Dilly. Kenny Dillingham. I thought this was pretty cool because the first thing I saw, I was like, crap. The NCAA transfer portal. All right. And then all of a sudden, pow, all on the same day, yesterday, a bunch of guys from ASU hit the transfer portal. And I was like, what the hell? We got more games ahead of us. If you enter the transfer portal, do you still get to play, or are you now immediately off the team?
Yeah, I mean, you're basically in no man's land. You don't play for anybody. So
the minute you enter the transfer portal, that removed any chance of you being a backup or playing in the games that are coming up. Is that true?
I believe that's how that works. Yeah.
Wow. But these are a lot of guys. And there's a lot of 3-star guys, but Jamon Tapp is a 4-star. LaTerrence Welch is a 4-star. No, I guess that's it for the 4 stars. Everybody else is 3 stars. But if I rattle off some names, I don't know, Jamal Young, Marcuston Douglas, Kamari Wilson, Caleb Black, Corbin Hendricks, Keontez Bradley. Here's another guy, Kavion Thunderbird.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it is a cool name.
That is an all-name team kind of name. Yeah.
Is that really his last name, though? I
probably.
It's too awesome. I mean,
they exist, man.
I might change my name to Thunderbird. Kieran Borda, and then Tristan Monday. So none of them have been picked up yet, but I don't think anybody's doing that yet, right?
No, teams do that all the time. Like if somebody really liked those guys, they'd be gone. But you put your name in the transfer portal, and you always run the risk, by the way, that nobody takes you, and then you just don't have anywhere to go.
Now you're just floating in space,
which is the downside of the transfer portal. But I don't think that. I think a lot of these guys are putting their name in the transfer portal because they just weren't getting playing time in the first place. Like this is not a group of guys that you are probably going to miss. And college football rosters are just allowed to be bigger than NFL. So we're not talking about losing a bunch of guys.
Right. It's not the starters or even the backups. It's down the line. Well, here's the thing that was really impressive. Dillingham said, he's like, yeah, we met with most of our guys that are going into the portal. And he said, our guys have the opportunity to stay and be on the team, he says, but he goes, he's a bunch of players are like, well, I'll wait to transfer. I'll wait till after, things are done to enter the portal. And he says, no, he says, it's not fair to you to go in after our run is over. He's like, I want you to have the best opportunity to find a spot. So you go in now, go right now. Day one, we'll help you find a spot and stay on our football team. If you want to stay on our football team, he says, let's just ride this the rest of the way together. I thought it was really cool of him to be that supportive of people.
Anti-Dion.
Yeah. Transfer portal. There goes the door.
Dion's like, if you put your name in there, you're dead to me. It's like wild. But yeah, I mean, and that's what this is supposed to be. I understand the transfer portal is not ideal for guys in college, and if you want to keep this sport as something that it has anything that has an amateur flavor to it, but at the same time, if your job is to make sure that these guys have the best lives possible and follow through on the decisions they want to make, that is actually the way to do it.
He says, I didn't want those guys to feel like they had to wait to go in because they wanted an opportunity to have a bigger role for a program until after the CFP. He says, I think that may have hurt their chances to transfer. So I made it clear you can stay on the team even if you go in the portal. That doesn't affect me at all. That's just us being on the same page, trying to help you achieve what you want to achieve in your career.
And that
is he ever just a jerk? I just haven't seen. I mean,
he's a player's coach.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean,
a little jerkish when the crowd came out on the field and he was kind of like, at the guy. I was like, it's too much, Kenny. It's too much. But outside of that, he just always seems like he's just
a
the best
genuine
guy.
though. Like like when he's mad at you, that's real. That's a
No,
genuine.
he didn't seem jerkish. He seemed crazy.
Yeah, and when he's in one of those
Unhinged.
spaces, that is not an act. That is all real. But the side of him that's also, no, I care about these kids. I want them to be able to do whatever it is that they plan on doing. And you hope it works out. If someone puts their name in the transfer portal, you know that you're taking a risk, but at least know that that risk is at least one-sided and not you're just in no man's land floating around. But like the team that recruited you actually has your back. That's kind of cool.
Bear Claw says, you did tell me you'd mail it, but I haven't seen it. If we had that conversation in email, it had been sent, and you should have it today, tomorrow, something like that. So if I haven't had that conversation with the email, then yeah, we didn't have that conversation. Against the Spread says, I read an article in Suck-Ass ESPN that ranked ASU the worst college playoff team in history. They were 54 out of 54 and haven't even played one game. Kenny Dillingham's going to be all over that bulletin board material right there. I would only put Texas as a 7-point favorite against ASU, and ASU a pick'em versus Clemson. Sun Devils are a violent football team that plays with unmatched intensity. They jump all over teams in the first half. Well, we didn't really do that in the last game. It took some adjustments and some time for the defense to really settle in and figure out how to stop those guys last week. So, but all right, what do you think of that? Texas 7-point favorite over ASU if it happens?
If favored by 7 points, I don't know. Maybe. It's just so weird.
He doesn't want to jinx himself against the spread.
I don't care about jinxes. I'm not superstitious.
Yeah,
I don't care. I just don't know how to say it because I feel like Texas offense just feels like it's stuck in neutral. And yeah,
so you're still kind of hurting over the last game.
I don't. Yeah, I just have, and not just the last game. This whole season, Sark clearly doesn't trust Ewers completely. He trusts him a little, but he doesn't trust him completely. And that's a problem. Like, this defense is legit, but I have some serious questions about this Texas offense. Going up against an ASU defense that does stop one-dimensional teams. So I have no idea how to feel about this. And to be fair, Texas is the one team I have that I am incapable of being fully normal about. So
fair enough.
Yeah. Fair enough. I could be unbiased about the Commanders. I could be the Wizards, Caps, Nats. I can't give you that about the Longhorns. I got a different relationship with that team. They I'm crazier with them than the other ones. So
well, that'll make it even better if ASU plays them. We won't be able to ask you for actual analysis.
Yeah,
we'll have to get someone else in.
I'm going to be torn, and because I like ASU, I've been rooting for him since I moved here. I like this team, and I like Dillingham a lot.
It's like when I play Randy in fantasy football. I love Randy, and I want him to do well. I want him to win, but I still want to win too. But I'm not mad if he does win.
No.
Yeah, I'm not mad, but your chances of having the college football championship window that doesn't stay open forever. You got to take your chances, and I hope Texas can cash it, but you run into ASU, I'm going to feel torn about it.
We're gonna have to take a break because my dumb dog is out in the yard barking. I gotta go get him in. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at HarmanSolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to HarmanSolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's HarmanSolar.com.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Never again will you have to say, I missed that segment. I'm such a dinkus.
He's so lame.
Never miss an important segment, favorite host, or show again. Check out our podcast and listen whenever and wherever you want.
It's the reason Al Gore invented the internet.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So Raven Kid has taken to Twitter to complain. He's I'm really confused. What decides this guy won over any of the other 4 contestants? Everyone had 49 as their tiebreaker. At least with the old site, there was more tiebreakers that helped decide if needed. Hey, Raven Kid, you were just on the text line. You want to air out grievances? Why don't you do it here? You don't got to do it on Twitter. But since you did do it on Twitter, it did help me notice something. Maybe the secondary tiebreaker is who is further in the lead. He has 143 correct. Nobody else has more than him that got 11 that got 11 right and have the right the right number, the closest to 47. So I think that might have something to do with it.
Jeffco, maybe it was who submitted their picks first.
Also it could have been done by penis size. There's another possibility.
Well, that's
Raven Kid
probably
has a very small penis, none smaller than Allen, Arizona.
I'm sorry that I have to ask this, but how would you know that?
His girlfriend told me. Yeah, just made all that up. He doesn't have a girlfriend. Who are we kidding? 888-368-1580. Rough Rob says Zach Wilson has won more games.
Yes. The spinning wheel of death.
It's undefeated. He
says, if it wants you, it's got you. There's nothing you could do about it.
I tried. Zach Wilson has won more games as a Jet than Aaron Rodgers.
Wow, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
Is the hellish reign of Aaron Rodgers about to end? Or do you think you have another season ahead of you with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback of the New York Jets?
Good God, I hope not.
I think there's another season of him. I think the owner of the team really likes him. I think Aaron does not want to go out the way he went out this year. And I think that the money's nice and his ego's big enough. So no, I don't think Aaron's going anywhere.
Free guy. What the hell? He says, name a worse college football playoff team worse than ASU. Your mom. See, that's just my instinct right there.
2019 Cincinnati. This ASU team would scrub the floor with that team.
I think he means this year.
But that's not. They said that the thing you referenced said that ASU is the worst team
of all
of all
time.
time, the worst playoff team ever, and that's
I got to go find
insane.
that story. Then I
That's
got to find that person. Then I got to call his mom.
Like, is you're high if you believe that? That's just
Somebody send me a link for that because I'm going to call somebody's mom.
you are on drugs if you really think that they're the worst playoff team of all time.
Yeah,
Stop.
a mom is being called.
just
A
go ahead
mom
and
is
stop.
being called.
They're not the worst playoff team in this playoffs.
Oh, I think I found it. Is that the one on ESPN Plus? Bill Conley. Yep, there it is. Here's what he says. As late as week 12, Arizona State's playoff odds were 2.9%, according to the Allstate playoff predictor. But Kenny Dillingham's Sun Devils beat 3 of the Big 12's 4 best teams as part of a 6-game winning streak, charging into and capturing Big 12 championship game. With running back Cam Scatterbo leading the way, the Sun Devils are physical and confident, but they will be underdogs from here. Okay. Well, they didn't do it with okay, did they do it? I don't think they did it years. This is all this year. So they said that we are the worst.
Out of the group of 12, we're the worst.
It says out of the group of 52. I'm confused.
Yeah, because if it's 52, then you are adding years that aren't this one.
But I'm looking at these and it doesn't say
It doesn't
years.
say years.
No.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I see. Okay, yeah, they're no. They're just not very clear about it because, as was mentioned, this is stupid ESPN. The Boise State is in there at 51. Clemson from this year is in. Oh, there's where the years are from this year. 2015, Michigan State losing to Alabama in 2015 is 49. So yeah, okay, there's the year. Sorry, my screen wasn't showing everything. Now I see it all. I see all. So are we the 52nd worst? That doesn't mean we're the worst. Maybe that means we're not the worst. Maybe that means that they think that the worst, I'm trying to scroll here best I can. Trying to find number one.
All he did was make the case that they are the most unlikely
Here it
playoff
is.
team.
2020, Alabama, they beat Notre Dame and beat Ohio State. I don't understand this. Best team from the best. I don't understand this story at all. I guess I should read it.
That does make sense. It is stupid ESPN.
ESPN's dumb.
It's just I don't know how you can even begin to make that argument.
I go back to my original assessment. Your mom. Random texter says, did Matt Leinart as a Cardinal win more games than Aaron Rodgers as a Jet?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn.
Well, because Aaron didn't win any games last year, so yeah, I think so.
Wow. Rough Rob says they just didn't want to see ASU get in. They're just haters.
That's true. There is an anti-ASU bias.
Is there?
At ESPN.
I don't think they
I've
care
noticed
about
that.
us.
I think it's easy to overlook ASU, but I don't think it's an anti. They hate ASU. They specifically are going after the Sun Devils. Like I think that it's laziness on their part that they have not looked into this program the way that they should have to know that.
When ASU plays, all of the highlights will be on whoever the other team is playing ASU.
I don't know that that's true after the Utah game. Like after the Utah game, they were getting a whole lot more respect than they were before. And then I think that BYU and then Kansas State, I don't know that that's true anymore.
Well, I don't know. I would have to respectfully disagree with that one. Because every time I look and I watch a lot of SportsCenter. It's the first thing I do when I get up in the morning because I'm trying to catch.
That could explain your headaches.
Yeah, I do have a lot of headaches. I thought it was hangovers, but apparently it is maybe too much ESPN.
Yeah, you probably
that'll do it. Yeah,
yeah.
You can OD on ESPN. No, that'll happen.
I watch it through twice just so I don't miss any little sweet little nuggets. What were we talking about?
I don't know. My mouth tastes funny now that I've had to talk about ESPN so much.
Yeah.
Bad taste. Bad
Kind of
taste.
tastes like dirt.
Amaya D says, it's Herm Edwards. It's Herm. He's trying to sabotage ASU. That actually checks out. Actually, that could be.
That checks out.
Yeah. First and 15.
I think most of his sabotaging he did while he was coaching.
He said
he ain't done yet.
Yeah,
He ain't done.
He's far more successful doing
He's
that.
bitter. He's bitter. Axe needs
Yep.
grinding. First and 15 says Boise has lower odds than the Devils, actually. I thought that was surprising.
Is it?
That again, ASU has been in the playoffs, or has been in, a ranked team that's gone on to a high profile game. I referenced a game from, what was it, 2014 or 15 or something like that, when they played Texas and just got their asses beat. I mean, it wasn't even funny. They weren't even. ASU was more concerned with showing up and looking good than playing the game, playing the football game. This time, though, with Kenny Dillingham, I think ASU is out to prove all the haters wrong.
So Lane Kiffin got in front of a microphone, and the old Miss coach, and he's saying that college football's current setup is dumb. He says it's not the playoff selection. He's talking about how the college calendar is all crammed up, and where the we were talking about earlier, where the transfer portal is. He says, just think if the NFL is getting ready for the AFC or NFC playoffs postseason, and players are in free agency already. If that happened right there, he says, a poor system. Yeah, we were talking about that. People like, oh, I can get in the transfer portal now before everything's done. He says, we try to manage best we can. He says, hopefully someday it'll get fixed. All right, Keon, you're the college football guy. Is he right? Should they wait until after everything is done before transfer portals open up and free, I guess, college version of free agency can begin?
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the NFL calendar, for instance, the free agency is after the postseason is over, obviously, because you don't want players to be deciding where they're going next while you have meaningful games left to play. This is one of the reasons why a lot of the bowl games that used to be really, really fun and really good, they just kind of suck now. A lot of guys are like, no, I want to go somewhere else, and I'm going to start working on that right now. It makes more sense to work on it right now. We just had that whole thing with Kenny Dillingham saying, hey, if you guys want to put your name in the transfer portal, we'll figure it out and help you. The reason why most coaches don't do that is not just because they're bigger jerks. It's also because it puts them at a disadvantage. And to be nice enough, quote unquote, to allow yourself to be at even a little bit of a disadvantage is tough to ask coaches to do. I think that a lot of things about the college football calendar stinks. I think that stinks. I think the fact that we have an early national signing day and then a regular national signing day is very stupid, because the early national signing day just becomes signing day when in priorities, like that's the one you want to do better correctly. So now, yeah, there's just like a whole bunch of stuff that they've moved with the calendar or failed to move that make no sense, to make life difficult for coaches and players alike. They should change it.
Random texter says SMU, Notre Dame, Indiana, 3 weakest teams in that top 12.
I will not say that about Indiana, but I Notre Dame has just got the worst case of, you guys have won a lot, but I look at who you have played and I don't know who that is. I just don't know, like, what is the quality of the teams you have beaten. And SMU, we know they got the easier schedule in the ACC, and the ACC kind of sucks. So at least SMU and Notre Dame, I hesitate to do that with Indiana, because you're doing that in the Big Ten, man. Like I got some respect for it.
Free Guy says the transfer portal is open at that time for academic reasons. They're not just doing that to make things difficult. What academic reason? What? I mean, what does that matter? I mean, what?
Yeah, so you can transfer, before the next semester.
None of these people are doing anything for academic reasons.
Yeah, yes, they are.
It's all about football.
Almost everybody in the transfer portal right now is going to be going pro.
I want to transfer to a place that has really nice library.
Look,
what?
They're gonna. It
That's
doesn't.
not what they're doing.
Yeah, but you still got to get your classes registered and all that stuff in a certain amount of time. Like, I get it, but yeah, no. Almost, if your name is in the transfer portal today, you are almost certainly going pro in something other than football.
That's a good point.
So, like, academic reasons are a part of this for sure.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Against the Spread says, sorry to bring up that trash 4-letter network. It's obvious that sorry-ass network cares only about the Dallas Cowboys and, of course, East Coast teams. ASU has had an incredible season so far, and nobody on ESPN talked about them at all until they made the playoffs. So they could throw dirt on them. You know what, though? You're wrong. There is somebody over at the ESPN you probably don't think of as being on the ESPN, but he is, Pat McAfee. He has consistently had great things to say about Cam Scadaboo. He's had great things to say about Kenny Dillingham and ASU.
And at least the last time I watched Game Day, Nick Saban likes ASU. Like I just don't think there's this network-wide agenda to specifically bring down the Sun Devils. I just think that it's a lot of, especially when you go on the website and you read the stories, it's a lot of laziness. It's a lot of, I just didn't look into this program because everybody said that they weren't going to be good this year. And then I didn't bother to watch them, which is my job.
He's not wrong. They just schley-bod the hell out of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Amaya D says, is there a sports talk radio portal? You should enter it. I think you should, Amaya. I think you should enter it. Because we don't have that luxury. We just get fired. That's it. You can enter any portal you want. It's called just turn the knob, man. Free Guy says, Keon's right. I love how non-biased he is. Yeah, it's a couple of things. But yeah, mostly.
I've got my biases.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody does. Chief Skull says Matt Barry on ESPN is an ASU alum and he stumps for them constantly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's
he does.
true. Also true.
Yeah.
McAfee is golden, says Pickle D. Only thing saving ESPN for me. Random Texter says McAfee may have said good things about Scadaboo, but he also picked Texas over Georgia. He's just doing picks, man.
Yeah. You got to pick somebody. Game was close.
Lost Toby says Keon is bi. No, he's not biased. What? Non-biased.
It's the fourth dimension. What do you do?
Yeah. I'm bi. I like crunchy and smooth peanut butter.
I totally forgot that happened. That's
Raven Kid says, did Pat McAfee used to be on 1580? Yeah. Then that was a mess. I liked having him on when he was here. Anyway, gotta see you in the next hour, which is the third hour after this. Daily Blender, 1580, The Fanatic.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up. You check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of SportTrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the SportTrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinning wheels. Live bets on SportTrade are instantly accepted. Download SportTrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
SportTrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pegol is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
KQFM Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
No, you're right, Randy. I think the YMCA would have been considered more of a serious band if they had done the YMCA thing in person. But that's hard to do with a human body. You ever
think we're live?
Oh, hey, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Pickle D is saying, no, McAfee picked the dogs. Run it back. T-Licious says, Chris Canty from ESPN Radio is a hating-ass bitch. He can suck it. More than Ralph.
Well, Chris Canty doesn't know what he's talking about.
What did he say?
Well, he was the guy who did that story on the on the Sun Devils being the worst playing team in the playoffs.
I've watched him, and then I've looked at what he says is going to happen, or a team looks this way, and it's not actuality. He's just on there collecting a paycheck. He's not a real journalist. He's one of those guys. Ryan Clark too. Ryan Clark is more of a journalist than Canty. I don't like Canty. He's one of the talking heads I talk about all the time.
The guy that wrote the article's name is Bill Connolly.
Conley, that's right.
Yeah, so that's why I was trying to wonder.
Well,
I was
wondering your deal with Canty? Because
Canty's just on ESPN Radio, which I don't know.
No, he's on in the morning too. He's got a show with some gal and another guy, and it's called Unsportsmanlike Conduct. And
can he or can't he?
Oh boy, I was just wondering just what made him a hater, because it's. He didn't write the article, so I was just trying to figure out how he was connected.
No, if you watch some of the stuff he says is just ridiculous.
Okay,
so
I think T-Lish's hate for him is probably more to do with the 49ers than anything. That's my guess.
Maybe
it's going to be my guess.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, so hey, here we are. It's the third hour, and we still have plenty of NFL, plenty of other stuff to talk about. But looking at the calendar there behind me, right there, I don't know what my next calendar is going to be. I told my wife, I'm like, got a calendar for me? I don't know. Maybe.
I remember the most epic calendar you ever had, and that was the one with dogs pooping on the.
I did mention that to her.
Yeah.
I said, if I do get a calendar and it's dogs pooping, I wouldn't be mad. So I don't know what we're going to end up with for the year 2025, but, this year is just about over. That's just seems like it went by pretty quick, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you have a good 2024?
It was all right.
Okay. That wasn't real convincing. I mean,
it was an all right.
Was it bad? Was it just
it was
mediocre?
Yeah, it was an average year. It was
yeah. Well, we didn't end up with another COVID or nothing. So
no, and I'm still not a multi-millionaire. So
there's that. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Moist one says, I got a hot guys with muscle cars calendar. No, thank you. But thanks. No, I'm all right. Hell, I could just flip this back over to January. It's not like I actually use the calendar as a calendar. You know what I mean? I got my phone for that.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I like it. I do look at it sometimes to see what certain days are, but very rarely.
It is cool.
My point is,
the
year is almost over. And, one of the things that bothers me about life is the movies and the TV. They're not coming up with very many new ideas.
Oh, no. They're remaking stuff, man.
It's either subtle, like my wife and I have been enjoying watching that Apple show, the Silo. And then I watched Fallout, and I realized Fallout probably came before the Silo. So Silo's kind of ripping off the Fallout, But then the fallout has a thing. It's just there's a silo, but there's also stuff happening outside of it. And then they're like, oh, we're going to reboot this. We're going to remake that. We're going to all these different things in Hollywood where everything is just redone, rehashed, reimagined. You got the Lion King cartoon, and now you got the Lion King computer animated, and you got the Little Mermaid, and now she's singing it for real, and all that. So it's just like, well, why can't we just make something new? Because those movies, you can still watch them; they're still good.
Yeah, the corporations, really, the media corporations, they just don't want to take the risk. They know that if we put a slap a name that everybody knows on it already.
Luigi had more work to do, I guess, but still, there's just there's not anything new in the world. But then I realize I'm wrong. There's 10 things, according to the New York Times, that happened that never happened before 2024.
Okay.
Scientists detected water on an asteroid's surface. That's new.
Yes. That's pretty cool.
There were parents who got convicted in mass school shooting. They were charged, for aiding and abetting or whatever. The kid that went and did the mass shooting. That's new. Wow. That's a good step in the right direction.
Yeah.
A pig kidney was successfully transplanted into a human.
Wow.
What?
Huh. Does that mean the human could taste bacon in his mouth?
The first thing I thought was bacon. Or can we turn that person into bacon? Then I wondered, could you turn anybody into bacon? And then I thought, I should stop thinking. Here's another thing that happened in 2024 that never happened before. An extreme marathoner finished running the length of Africa, top to bottom, 10,000 miles over the course of 352 days.
Wow.
Good for him.
Wow.
He's happy about this, I assume, because that sounds like hell to me.
If I walk to the mailbox and I'm sitting in a chair, I'm like, honey, could you grab me that over there? Can you get that for me? I'm never getting up again.
I ran up some stairs the other day and I was winded.
Yeah, that's immediately a mistake.
I was just fighting for my life on some stairs. I can't do that.
Another thing that happened for the first time in 2024, a street food taco stand in Mexico got a Michelin star. Some good tacos.
A street food taco stand.
Yeah, just a taco
Mexico.
stand. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Michelin star. Here's one that I was like, what? Saudi Arabia hosted a swimsuit fashion show. That's new.
Saudi Arabia?
Never happened before. The men look great, by the way. I just want you to understand that there's still rules there. A former U.S. president was convicted of a felony, 34 of them. That never happened before. And then he got reelected. That's the first time a president's been elected with felonies. So that's all happened. And by the way, Donald Trump is going to be the oldest person ever elected president, which used to be Joe Biden. Now it's Donald Trump. I'll tell you what, at this rate, if 100-year-old Jimmy Carter just hang in there, maybe the Democrats can nominate him and he wins in 2028.
Put me back in, coach.
So like, let me die. Another thing that happened in 2024 that's never happened before, a scientist has observed an orangutan treating itself with medicinal herbs in the wild. That's new.
That's very new and pretty cool, actually.
Was it peaches and herb?
It was peaches and herb. You are correct.
Thank you.
The next one is not cool at all. Breakdancing was in the Olympics. That's the first time and the last time.
We all hope anyway.
It's not going to be back for the 2028 games in LA. Thank God for that.
Well, because it's here.
And then the other thing that's never happened, father and son duo played an NBA game, on the same team, LeBron and Bronny. That's never happened. Of course, Bronny wouldn't be in the NBA without his dad, but whatever. It happened. So that happened. Father, son played on the same team in the same game. There you go. So
that's pretty neat.
Is there anything we could make a movie out of there? Because we were desperate for ideas.
Literally the last one. And I don't think any of us wants to see LeBron in a movie yet.
Oh, no, I don't want nothing to do with that.
This is
or
like
the breakdancing.
That's like a 25 years from now story. That's not a...
Yeah. We've already had the Planet of the Apes. So the orangutan putting medicine on that, we don't need to go there. Saudi Arabia fashion show swimsuits.
What would the plot even be?
I think it's the street food taco stand in Mexico getting the Michelin star.
Now that is interesting.
That's true.
Everything that leads up to that point could be a great comedy. That could be something. Person who ran the length of Africa. I just like within like the first 5 minutes of the movie, I'd be like, stop it. Knock it off. Pig kidney and human. Unless they got pig superpowers, but I don't know. Like, this dude can find a truffle like nobody's business. I don't know what the power would be. I don't know what you'd have.
You'd get through mud awfully efficiently.
Guess.
Yeah.
Moist one says, that's fake news. I regularly put a human organ in a pig. Okay, stop it. He says, back when I was with my first wife.
Oh, stop.
God. Jesus.
Pickle D says, water on an asteroid could be bent into some fun stuff. Like if somebody drank it and then something happened. I don't know.
That's true. You can write a sci-fi around that. That's pretty fun. Probably
Armageddon 2, the wet one. I don't know.
Well, the asteroid doesn't have to be coming at Earth. It's just like if there's something in.
I just need some more Aerosmith songs. I don't know. Raven Kid says, you telling me Rafiki from The Lion King was actually out there making stuff in real life? What I don't understand.
He had the ointments and the
Oh, is that the one that holds up?
Rafiki's not an orangutan.
Yeah, he's a baboon.
Yeah,
with the colorful butt, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Free Guy says felons in the White House. So you're telling me there's a chance? Free Guy, you need to run for some sort of start with like city council and go from there.
Just work your way up, man.
If you really want to do the city council, but you're holding a lot of felonies thing, might I suggest Chicago?
That's a good place to start.
Hey, there you go. You've got your best chance there.
Or Baltimore.
Free Guy says, you guys seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil? That movie was original and hilarious. Nope. Haven't seen it, but I should. I know I should. Let's see. Moist one says, Farmageddon. Pigman saves the world from a moist asteroid.
I like that's that. Some snappy thinking right there.
Yeah, that's a good job. Moist one should work in Hollywood.
Combine the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If we combine everything on this, we'll probably be asked to leave the country.
Moist one does his own combining.
The historian says that person could go hog wild. Yeah, just take a break, historian. We're not going to blow the whistle on you, but maybe take a break. Read my text before the felons. What? I did read that. Oh, all the way up here. Jesus Christ, Free Guy. If I read it, I read it. If I don't, I don't. Don't be directing me on your texts.
And also maybe send fewer of them all at once. Maybe space that out a little more.
He says, let's start the new year with a bang. Strippers, tequila shots, booger sugar. Let's go to Vegas, baby. That's what you had me go back for?
Really? I only do the alcohol in that list of things that you said. So I'm all
sugar booger.
That's cocaine.
That's cocaine. Yeah. I don't do the cocaine. So you can leave me out of that entirely.
It's a bad idea.
And my girlfriend would have something to say about the strippers in that she would hate it. So no.
Kyle G says the man running Africa is actually training for a secret space running in Africa is actually training for a secret space program to send him to get the asteroid water for the African countries needing water. They've raised the money by selling pig kidneys to rich guys trying to live forever and become even older presidents. Boom, 4 on the list in one movie. It's not bad, Kyle G.
That was pretty impressive. Yeah,
that is not bad.
Might have to be a 2-parter. There's a lot.
Gonna have to leave breakdancing out of it, though.
Do we have to?
I would hope so. You don't have to, but I would hope so.
T-Licious says, Canty's bitch ass. Why do you have to add bitch ass to it? Just bashed ASU and the playoff format Monday morning. And of course, he was on Alabama's jock.
Like, there are just certain guys that once I've written you off in my head is, oh, I don't care if this is malicious or that you're just an idiot and you're wrong about everything. You just don't worry about what that person thinks anymore. I have no opinions on Chris Canty. I do not think about the man. Maybe you should stop watching him and think about him a lot less.
Mr. Roboto says if they ever take The View off the air, maybe they'll take Joyless Behar and the crew back for a remake of the A-Team. They would never leave the parking lot. They'd just be sitting in the car arguing.
Dun, 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 dun.
And everybody's just click. Moving on. Hurry Harry says, I never thought a dog pooping calendar was I was putting a photo album together earlier in my years of dogs pooping. I thought it was the funniest thing. See? You were halfway there, Hurry Harry. You were halfway there.
Yep.
Lost Toby says, I called 1-800-NEXT STEP. They didn't have any good parlays, so apparently it's not advice number, so it wasn't much help. Try again. You have to think the people who work at 1-800-NEXT STEP might be gamblers themselves,
and
you might catch that one guy. It's like, okay, I'm not supposed to do this, but
I was going to say, get the right operator. Keep calling till you get the right one.
Can I get your direct number?
I've got a 20-leg parlay. Listen.
Pickle D says, imagine Captain Phillips' premise applied to the runner in Africa. He gets kidnapped by a random African tribe and held for ransom. These are my running shoes now. It doesn't really work the same.
No.
Yeah, and it can't be, and I don't think it can be a random African tribe. There is a way that goes very poorly on the racism front. I would not like the thing that made Captain Phillips work is that like we know that Somali pirates exist. Like that's not a made up thing. I wouldn't make that up. That you would have to do some research and find if that actually happens and who. Be very specific, or you run the risk of making the worst movie forever. Just don't
listen, Pickle D.
I'm just saying when you're flying that plane, you have to land it perfectly.
Yeah, it's a very short runway.
And
it's
a short runway,
skinny runway.
You've got an engine out. Like there's already a lot of things going on with this plane. You gotta stick the landing.
Yeah, just find an unpopulated area and crash that thing.
Yeah,
I would just not do it. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I thought when you have a gambling problem, you reach out to the customer service for the sportsbook directly and hope maybe you get some free bets that way. You can go that direction.
Try, I
guess that could work. I mean, I don't know.
It's worth a shot.
Oh, by the way, I know a lot of people are driving home right now. Really quick, let me give you a list of the most dangerous Christmas songs to drive to. There was actually a study done in Insuranceopedia. They did a study, and they said that any song with 120 beats per minute could lead to dangerous driving habits. So based on that, the worst Christmas songs you can listen to while you drive are as follows. The first worst is Frosty the Snowman by Gene Autry, 172 beats a minute.
Wow.
That is unsafe at any speed.
Okay.
Especially at his age.
And then All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. That's mostly because people like turn the wheel just reaching over quickly to change the damn station.
I was in the store earlier today. I got caught with the first Mariah Carey for me of the season. You're never expecting it, even though you know it's going to happen.
Too soon. I was surprised at this one. Feliz Navidad, 149 beats a minute.
Really?
It is dangerous. It's bilingual and dangerous.
It is fun, though.
Santa Claus is Coming to Town, done by the Jackson 5, 147 beats per minute. And then this doesn't make sense. John Lennon, Yoko Ono, and the Plastic Ono Band with Happy Christmas, War is Over, 146 beats a minute. Doesn't sound like a fast song, Randy. Does that sound like a fast? I don't wear. That seems like a slower song, to be honest.
So this is Christmas.
See what I'm saying? Frank Sinatra, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, 143 beats a minute.
Hey, but anytime you can get Blue Eyes on the radio, it's for a good time.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in any format is 142 beats a minute.
Oh, come on.
Makes sense.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not changing the channel though, but yeah, I can see it.
And then I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day by Wizard, 140 beats a minute. I don't know that song.
I don't either.
I have no idea who that is.
By Wizard?
Wizard with 2 Z's, by the way.
Whoa. Wow. That's how you know they're serious.
Wizard. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by Judy Garland, 137 beats per minute. How? I got to go back and listen. I don't know what these beats are. Is it just like the jingle bell and the ching, 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 and you're counting that as beats?
Just every percussive
Boy,
instrument.
I don't know about that one.
And then there is I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, Jackson 5, 129 beats a minute. Yeah, I saw a mommy kissing Santa Claus. That's As you can, yeah. Make people drive faster to get home. I knew it. She said, I had to lose weight.
Blink, access the living room camera.
God damn it. Mr. Roboto says there's no way Frosty the Snowman is 172 beats a minute, except for the live version after Gene Autry snorted a line of Coke. Well, that is on the album notes. So, to be fair. Baker's Cocky Hen says it feels like they're measuring this weird. Some of those beats are like 15 beats in a couple of seconds, but then it's super slow. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just telling you. Moldy Tuna Fish says, how about Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer? That's a fast tempo. I don't ever want to hear that song ever again for the rest of my life. So
that's it. You just never want to hear it ever. Never again.
Kyle G says, LeBron and his descendants continue to get animal organs transplanted until 5 generations. He fields a team of LeBron, Bronny, Bronald, Bron Jr., and Bronston. We'll call it a team of his own.
A team of his own.
That's brilliant. No, that is brilliant right there. That's a movie. That is, and it's a horror movie all at the same time for most of us. No, that's well done, Kyle G. You're greenlit. T-Licious says, I happened to change the channel during a commercial on my way to work, and I heard Canty, talking college football. It struck a nerve, I guess, and I was hungry. But he's still a biatch regardless. Yeah, we got
maybe your blood sugar was very low.
Yeah.
But it can be both. It can be both.
All right.
Yeah.
What is this? Pickle D just sent me a list of organized crime syndicates in Africa. In Nigeria, it's the Black Axe.
Well, that's not a tribe. That's just a criminal organization like all the other ones.
Black Axe sounds like a really cool Marvel superhero.
Yeah.
The Black Axe.
Now, if you're saying this is just a criminal organization and they are located in Africa, then fine. You're good. You said tribe originally, and I gotta tell you,
some random tribe.
That's not how that works. And you got to be careful with that. That's all
Coming
I'm saying.
This Christmas, he lives in the shadows, a protector of freedom and the innocent. It's the Black Axe.
No. The Black Axe is the bad guys. In this. They're the criminals
in reality,
and their people are the Axemen.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's kind of badass.
It's okay to have bad guys. You get the Black Panther going after the Black Axe.
Just when you thought it was safe to walk the streets.
Or run a marathon. I don't know.
That's true.
Just when you thought it was safe to run across Africa.
Mr. Roboto says the 5 generations of LeBron James movie there, that could be called the Cleveland Bronsaw Massacre. Yeah, I think you're right.
Huh.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, can we have LeBron's team be killed off by Sam and Dean from Supernatural? Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, would you really consider them monsters at that point? I guess if they're using all sorts of weird animal things to keep themselves alive, but only if they do evil. Just playing basketball, like I don't think Sam and Dean would bother with it.
Yeah, if they took all of that and decided we're going to use it to play sports, I don't know that rises to the level of
have at it, guys.
Yeah,
have at it. It's weird. Nobody.
You could be using these powers for evil, but you're just trying to dominate the NBA.
So what I'm really trying to say is, don't listen to Frosty the Snowman when you're driving. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. That was it. That was the message of the entire show.
Wow.
We should go home early.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. See you later.
Well, but we can't. So we're going to take a break and come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by GBank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
14 weeks of the NFL season are in the books and 4 games remaining before the start of the playoffs. The Kansas City Chiefs, the best bet to win the AFC and return to the Super Bowl. They are plus 160. The Buffalo Bills are plus 250 to win the conference. Baltimore is at plus 475, while the Pittsburgh Steelers are plus 850. In the NFC, the Detroit Lions are plus 120 to capture the conference and head to their first ever Super Bowl, while the Philadelphia Eagles are plus 250. Green Bay at plus 900. Vikings also plus 900. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus 2,000 to win the NFC. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar. At Kasai, now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird, and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Thursday Night Football is live on The Fanatic.
The Rams head to San Francisco for a key matchup against the 49ers on Thursday night. 49ers looking for some payback after LA beat them in week 3. But the Rams are coming off a thrilling victory over the Buffalo Bills last Sunday. It's the Rams at 49ers. Thursday Night Football live.
Your home for the NFL in the Valley is 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and 1580thefanatic.com.
Oh, Ricky. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. The Onion was cracking me up. They had a story there. It says parents groups are worried that, youth sports could lead to their kids being drafted by the Jets. And
if they're any good, it's always a possibility.
Yeah.
It's done irreparable harm to Zach Wilson.
I don't want my child to play football. They might end up with the Jets.
Hey, Randy, the Yankees, who I guess couldn't get it done yesterday, got it done with another guy. They got fried for $218 million, the record for left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, the Yankees could use some pitching. That really let them down this season, this past season. So I don't know what they're going to do to replace Soto in the lineup.
Who cares?
He's now a New York Met with 15 at $756 million with a player option after year 5.
How will he get by?
I don't know. It's going to be a slim pickings for Juan Soto, but I'm sure he's going to make it somehow.
Paycheck to paycheck, that Juan Soto.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm.
So the Washington Nationals have the first pick in the 2025 Major League Baseball draft for the 3rd time in their history.
Yeah.
Where are the Diamondbacks in on this?
Boy, I don't know. I knew the draft lottery was today. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it.
I couldn't see it. All I saw was the headline. Didn't say anything about where the Diamondbacks. I guess it doesn't matter because none of this really matters. It's so different than the other sports. It's like, hey, we got the first pick, and we're getting this guy. Blah, blah, blah. See you in a few years. Okay. Like you don't even know
at 18.
You don't even know until they've played for a while in the farm system or minor league.
It matters, but it doesn't. It's not helpful to you, the fan watching, because you
not at all.
You've got to wait. But obviously, if you don't draft well, then the players that ultimately that you end up having to call up will suck, and then you'll notice that your team's been bad at drafting.
So the winter meetings, what are they doing in the winter meetings?
Well, that's where owners and GMs get together, and the commissioners there, and all the Major League Baseball uppity-ups, presidents, and vice presidents, then the sort, and managers sometimes are there. I saw Torey Lovello on the MLB Network.
Deals
today.
Are getting made there too, right?
Yeah, and they have meetings about rule changes. They've got meetings about the contracts with the union. A lot of union talk goes on. They can amend their contracts, and so that's happening. And of course, the politicking that's going on with the commissioner trying to get his administration's goals enacted with the team. So they vote on a lot of that stuff and some rule changes. It's very, very similar to what the NFL does, except they do a lot of backroom bargaining, if you will, team to team, face to face, trying to work it out. And there's some players there, obviously, and agents that like to come out and meet some of the people that are involved in baseball. And
is it like the Major League Baseball farmers market? This is
sort of, yeah,
kind of weird,
yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of boring conference stuff that goes on, and then there's a lot of backroom dealing. So,
well, do you know what the thing was that pushed Juan Soto over the top for the Mets? It wasn't that $5 million more, because the Yankees offered him what was it, 760, and then the Mets are like, aha, 765, and Soto's like, sold. It wasn't just the money. I guess Juan Soto had gone to the Yankees and said, okay, we can do that, but I also want a luxury suite. Family and friends can come to the game. I want the luxury suite. And they're like, no. And he's like, buy? Because the Mets are like, luxury suite? We got tons of those. We can't give those away. So that was it. That was the deal breaker for Juan Soto and the Yankees. A luxury suite.
What's funny about these major league contracts, I don't know how it is with the NBA and the NFL, or the NHL, but some of these major league contracts have little addendums in them like that. I can remember there was a time at one of the players that came to Phoenix. I can't remember his name right now. I kind of see him in my mind's eye, but I can't remember his name. But his wife loves horses, and he wanted the Diamondbacks to provide a property where he and his family could live, and his wife could train her horses throughout the day and ride and be comfortable. So that was one of the addendums of his contract.
If you thought
that's an easier one,
if you thought he was worth pursuing like that, really the box in the stadium, that's going to be it. That's going to be the line you draw there. I don't understand.
Well,
either you think the guy's going to help you win or no.
Right, $750 million, but we draw the line in a luxury suite.
See now, Hank Steinbrenner, he probably would have worked with Soto on something like that. He probably would have worked with him on that. But Hal Steinbrenner, who's running the organization with the rest of the family, he's like, you know how much money we're losing if I give you this luxury suite? I mean, we're the Yankees. These sell out every year. You know how much money I would be losing on top of paying you $765 million?
Counterpoint, if you think the guy can help you win a chip, do you know how much money you make back?
Hey,
or is that just
I do understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is Hal Steinbrenner is not his dad. And he's not worried about winning championships. He's worried about making more money.
Well, good for him. He's going to continue to not win championships.
Pickle D says, no, another great Brave player turned to the dark side. F them damn Yankees.
I mean,
I agree.
F the Yankees, but I also personally hate the Mets. And this kills me. This Juan Soto, the Mets, I'm still not over it. I don't want to see him in that uniform.
I ain't too worried about it. I just hate the Yankees more than anything. So.
I mean, I'll always be grateful for 2019. Juan Soto was great in that playoff run.
Didn't that seem like forever ago?
He's dead to me, though.
That's like before COVID ago.
Sure.
That's like forever ago.
I mean,
it's a long ass 5 years, man.
For 5 whole years.
It seems like a decade. But that this post-COVID, pre-COVID, that's a decade. 5 years is a decade.
Not to me.
Pickle D says a lot of them Christmas songs are written in 3/4 timing, where the dominant beat is heard in the one, which makes the song sound slower than it actually is. Oh, dude, don't put math into music. That's no fun for us.
I mean,
we don't want that.
Got bad news about music and math. It's kind of late.
No, I mean, we just don't want to hear about it. I'm not saying it's not there. Listen, I also don't want to look back at the kitchen in my favorite restaurant for fear of seeing something I don't want to see. Same thing.
Okay, fair.
Don't tell me what it's like in the kitchen. Just give me the food. Don't tell me what it's like in the music. Just let me enjoy it. Roboto, Mr. Roboto to you, says contract worth over $750 million. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's now the richest contract, and there is no deferred money. It is going to be paid all like it's supposed to. And if he waives his option to leave the Mets, they add another. I don't know what the number is. Something like another $5 million a year to his salary, making it again, even after this shakes out and other guys get a richer contract, potentially, he could be the richest player, richest contract in Major League Baseball again after 5 years.
Juan specifically did not want deferred money. He at every turn that everybody offered him a deferred contract, he said no. The Nationals offered him money before he left. He said no. He said no to the Padres. He didn't want the money deferred. And that's smart, honestly. Just
Juan J.G. Wentworth Soto.
Yeah.
Moist one says Steve Cohen was not getting outbid for Soto.
He wasn't. If he wants his guy, he's got the money to throw in that direction. He's going to get him.
Mr. Roboto says if only Van Halen had played baseball, they could have had a contract clause that said every time Michael Anthony hit a home run, they had to drop brown M&Ms out of the sky, like Captain Kangaroo ping pong balls. There's a lot going on there, Mr. Roboto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I get it. You got off work and you started smoking later than most people. That makes sense.
It happens.
Muahahaha says, I'm curious. Do you know if these baseball contract perks count towards the luxury tax? Seems like they should.
Yeah, that's the business side of it. I don't know if it does or not. I don't know.
It's a perk. Well, there is no cap, so they can do what they want. But the luxury tax, that's interesting. Do they have a luxury tax?
I don't think
baseball?
they have a luxury tax.
Yeah,
no.
that'd be basketball. So
yeah, basketball has it, but baseball is open and free.
This is somebody I don't know if I've ever talked to. Cool Jr. I didn't put Cool Jr. in there, did I? Might have been when I was out. I don't know. Says, hey guys, I understand Ohtani's signing, but Soto I don't get. He's a great batter, but defense not there. At least Ohtani is great at both. He proved it in the World Series.
Well, yeah, I mean, Juan Soto is a very good right fielder. He's got a cannon of an arm. He doesn't hurt you when he's out there in the right field. I don't know where you got that understanding that maybe he's not a good defensive player. He plays all aspects of the game. I'd like to know where you're seeing that because I haven't heard that before.
I don't think he's like a Gold Glove guy, but he's a quality.
Yeah, I think he's a quality right fielder, and
yeah,
I've seen him gun guys down, no hops at the plate, and just shoot them down. Guys running from third, tagging up or whatever.
And he also doesn't have like as a hitter, where a lot of hitters like have slumps. He's so consistent that itself is worth a lot of money to some of these teams. Just having a guy in the lineup that's always going to get the bat on the ball, like that's huge.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, damn, Bobby Bonilla is jealous of this Mets deal. No, he's not.
No.
Bobby Bonilla has had and is having a great life. He got his money.
And continues to.
Mr. Roboto says, I'm running under the assumption that the fourth dimension knows about Van Halen's contract clause. That's a
hell of an assumption.
On the M&Ms.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That is a hell of an assumption.
Hey, I didn't know that Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown were friends, and then now they're not friends. What happened? Do we know?
I didn't hear about them not being friends.
No. So Brandon Graham said some stuff, and now makes you think. But listen, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about that. We'll have on this date in big Georgia sports history and whatever else we can cram in the next 20 minutes. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
The spirit of the Cowboys special.
Spirit comes from the soul. It's not something that happens to you. It's something that happens in you. You take pride in yourself. You take pride in your brand. It's hard work. It's perseverance. It's dedication. And it's preserving what's old and keeping it new.
The spirit of the Cowboys is the last wild free thing left.
Boot Barn, share the West.
It's that holiday time of year. Give the gift of hearing to you or a loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today. Audien Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices. Just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audienhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com. Hurry, don't miss Audien Hearing's Christmas sale live now through December 15th.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Now you can be the guy that eventually gets bits and pieces of the latest news.
Or you can get the whole story when it breaks.
The NFL is always in season here.
That's how we do it.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter. Or at 1580thefanatic.com.
the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. For the love of Christ, Pickle D, I read that text, man. Just stop.
Oh, no.
Wow. And here's Raven Kid, who instead of texting likes to post crap on Twitter. He says, I saw somebody say on Twitter they looked at Juan Soto's video game stats and said they paid all that money for a baseball version of Trae Young. This is exactly why you can't trust these video game attributes.
Well, I mean, true. Juan Soto's slash line is 285, 421, and 532. What that basically means is he's a career 285 hitter. That's unheard of in these days in baseball. I mean, when you get a guy that's hitting 285 and he's bashing a 532, meaning his extra base hits and his power, his home runs, that sort of thing, his power numbers, that's an amazing stat line. And then he gets on base, even with walks, singles, doubles, it doesn't matter. He gets on base, and then he's kind of a terror on bases. He's a very aggressive base runner. So it's one of the best among active major leaguers today. I don't know why people have got to quit equating what the real life is to video games. There's no way you can do that. You can't say, well, he doesn't hit 585 and his on base percentage is 1.10 with a 7,000 power numbers. He's just crazy. No, that's not reality. You go up there and try to hit 162 times during the year, 500 at bats or more every season, and you come up with a 285 average and a 421 on base percentage and a 532 power, slugging percentage. I mean, that's great in Major League Baseball.
I'm not a fan of reality.
Well.
Oh,
I mean, it's
neither am I.
Just a fact, I guess.
I'm not having a decent time.
Before the break, we were talking about how Brandon Graham was saying that there is a problem between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. And he said, well, first, A.J. Brown's not happy. They're like, hey, what's going on there? What's wrong with the Eagles offense? And he said, passing. It's like, ooh, okay. That's, not a great thing to say about Jalen Hurts.
Even though he did have 108 yards. If you ask, the answer to the question is obviously passing. You just don't say it like that.
So Brandon Graham, who's out for the season with a tricep injury, I guess was doing some show or some podcast. And he said, I don't know. He said, there's something going on. I'm being honest. I don't know the whole story, but I know that Jalen Hurts and Brown could be a little better. He says they were friends before this, but things have changed. I understand that. Life happens. But we got to, it's the business side that we got to make sure we don't let the personal get in the way of business. And that's where we got to do better. Blah, 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 blah. So what the hell's going on? Why are they? Is it because of the game? Is it because that A.J. Brown doesn't think Jalen Hurts is passing him the ball enough? So now they're not friends anymore?
Well, Jalen's just had a very inconsistent year as a passer completely, and he had kind of a down year last year too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is just a matter of A.J. Brown probably called him out, probably bluntly, not with any tact, without any care for Jalen's feelings at all. Just said, hey, be better, which could be true, but nobody likes to just hear that they suck. So if he said it like that, like, hey man, you suck, be better, then obviously any friendship you have is going to be on shaky ice. If every time I have a bad game, every time I have a bad performance, you're telling me I suck, we might have an issue.
Well, is it true or not that Jalen Hurts doesn't necessarily call all the plays? He gets plays from the OC, right? I mean, is that correct, or am I missing something here?
He does. Yeah, Jalen Hurts is not the play caller.
Okay, so if A.J. Brown's got a problem, he shouldn't call out Jalen Hurts.
It also could be an RPO, and he's looking around, maybe going through his progressions, and A.J. Brown thinks he is open more than Jalen Hurts thinks he is. It could be that.
Also, there are games where Jalen could not hit the broadside of a barn.
True.
And if you call him out for that, if he doesn't take that well,
you're going to get the ball a lot less.
Well, yeah. And not only that, but I don't think the scheme of what they're doing this year includes a lot of passing. When you have
the scheme may be because of his inability to pass. Well, they may have adjusted their offense, understanding they got Saquon Barkley who can run the doors off of anybody. And they're like, you know what? Let's lean into that because Jalen Hurts also could run. So now we have a dual threat. Yeah. And if he does a couple of dink and dunk little passes here and there, then that is fine.
Exactly the point I was going to make. When you have an elite running back like Saquon Barkley, who's having a year like he's having, by the way, I think that you give the ball to him as much as possible, and you let that set up the pass. And I think that's going to take away from some of the passing game, which is going to relieve some of the pressure on Jalen Hurts, who's not passing very well this year.
Yeah, I like to kind of point it out a little bit when you look at the targets that he's had in the last couple of years that he's been in Philadelphia. He had 145 targets year one, 158 year two. He's not even going to get close to that this year. He's got 66 on the season. He was nearly a 1,500 yard receiver for both of those years. He may get 1,000 this year, maybe if they're lucky. And like it does seem to track with the Jalen Hurts passing numbers just being worse. The touchdowns are lower. The attempts seem to be actually around the same, but the touchdowns are lower. The yards, he has the lowest amount of yards that he's had in Philadelphia since he was a rookie. Like this is,
he could still get 1,400 yards this season. He's on that pace he's on.
Yeah, maybe.
not now.
Yeah, not if you're going to have 100-yard passing games. That's just
not if you're going to start calling out the quarterback. That also is a hurtful thing. But I mean, Graham apologized, but I think that the real conversation has got to be between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, and A.J. Brown for saying passing. I think that right there has done more damage than anything.
Well, I think the damage was already done. Once you get to the point where he's saying it out loud, he already didn't like that dude.
Moist One says, sometimes Brown don't feel like he's good, but baby, hurt so good. Dun, dun, dun. Now that song is going to be in my head.
I don't know the song well enough.
Hurt so good. It's John Cougar Mellencamp.
I'll look it up later when it's going to be less of an earworm for me.
Just look up Hurt So Good and do that in Spotify. Don't do that on the internet.
That's a good point. See, there you go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1919, the National League, spearheaded by the leadership of Pittsburgh Pirates owner Barney Dreyfuss, approved the banning of the spitball, allowing just the current spitballers presently throwing the pitch to use it under a grandfather clause. A year later, the American League adopted the same rule. Back to me, Jeffrey. Yeah, you know why they did that? Because spitball, I guess, killed a guy. Yeah, back in 1920, there was a pitch that hit a batter named Ray Chapman, hit him right in the noggin, killed him. They're like, ooh, we got to do something about these spitballs. And so that's why it's illegal. By the way, spitball is what it is anytime you put spit or maybe, petroleum jelly or whatever. Randy, I thought you had more control on a spitball. So
you can control the ball and you can make the ball do various things, kind of like a knuckleball. But when you use a spitball, if you bend it for a curveball, then it really has a huge bend on it. And the other thing is a spitball. You can use various substance. let me put it that way: chewing tobacco. You can get the sugary bubble gum.
Well, if it was still legal, then what was the preferred? Just a little spit with all you need, right?
Well, it started with a little spit, but these guys would go, like I said, they would get a big chawed tobacco. They would use the tobacco juice on it. And it makes the ball more tacky, and so you really throw things.
So I thought that meant more control, not less. Control and more danger.
No, it's more control, not less control. But ball, still you throw a pitch up there, it's going to get away from you. And let's keep in mind, back in the day, they didn't have helmets.
Right.
They wore their hats up there.
Dude getting killed by a pitch doesn't mean it was about the spitball, but they used that to ban it.
It could be one of those things where you're more reckless. You think you have more control than you do. And
but so you pitch can do that.
You pitch more. Yeah, but if you do it more, if you think you have more control and it's more risky than you think, You're going to try pitches that are more dangerous than what you might normally do if you thought you had less control.
Okay. Well, it was 100 years ago, 104 years ago. That I think they should bring back the spitball.
I think they should too.
I think batting helmets now. Bring back the spitball.
I think they don't even let guys use the spider tag. The spitball's never coming back.
Well, I want to see a pitcher go lick the ball. You're allowed to lick it. A lick ball, Randy.
No, thank you.
Lick ball.
That sounds
right here on the ball.
No.
There you go.
No.
And then you just
no. Yeah, you have to lick it.
Yeah. Well,
just made Moist One's day.
That'd be like a Trevor Bauer trick, wouldn't it? I mean, he's got that kind of.
No, I didn't say strangle ball. I didn't say beat ball. I didn't say.
Sorry.
Choke a ball.
You can understand. There's like a little mix up there. Yeah.
Sorry.
Latina Leprechaun says, you know who likes spitballs? That Hawk Tua girl right there. Chosen One says, what's interesting about AJ and Hurts? Hurts is the godfather to AJ's kid or vice versa. So now it's all awkward.
It's got to be. Yeah.
I think it's just ego here. I really do. I think it's AJ Brown's got a big ego, and I think the Eagles, not ego, but the Eagles have changed their scheme, and it doesn't include a lot of downfield passing. So
Moldy Tuna Fish says, Jeffrey, you should ask the fantasy football king on Thursday if you should bench Jalen Hurts again. I'm just going to ask him, but I'm going to say you asked. Moldy Tuna Fish wants to know Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff. And the super sad part is, Moldy Tuna Fish, that I am not in the playoffs, so I had no reason to ask
at this point.
Yeah, not this week. Not.
I mean, I could lose and be sent down there outside of the playoff line myself
if I'm lucky. I'm rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for everybody but Ralph. Although Ralph's team would stomp me when he got there, so whatever. Hey guys, we'll see you tomorrow. It's the Daily Blender here.